Ready? Temperatures rising, your body's yearning. Oh, rooster knows. Oh, seems like you're ready. Seems like you're ready. Seems like you're ready. Rooster, you ready? Oh. Seems like you're ready. Seems like you're ready. Roosters are ready. Oh, rooster ready. The rooster is ready, guys. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. So I know people are hating right now on Angelina. They're saying, O'Neil, is Angelina winning right now? We don't know. We don't know. Possibly. She has had an impact on Anthony. Good evening, folks. How are you doing this evening? Angelina's ready.
Angelina's ready.
She's ready.
Like, oh, you're ready. So yes, salutations, everyone. Salutations. Thank you so much for joining me on this live today. So I had to make sure that I put on my bra to be able to be presentable enough to be able to represent my compadre, special guest in the building. He gives great commentary on these Country Wayne skits, on these Country Wayne streets. He's also an author and also a professional as well, because he does work for a living too. So, and he's very educated as well. So we're going to get more into that as well. So without further ado, I'm going to present to you and introduce to others Oneiltv. Here we go. Oneiltv in the building,
What's
building.
Up?
What's going on?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm here. I'm ready. I'm here. It seems like we're ready.
You are ready. You ain't got to get ready. So how are you this afternoon?
I'm doing good. I'm doing very, very good. I'm happy to be here. Hope the people I'm checking all in and people
Yes,
checking in
are.
right now.
They really are.
Good. They are checking in. Good. Good to see
Thank
big
you
ups.
guys so much for coming in. Excuse me. Thank you so much for coming into the building. So before we begin, let me just welcome everyone. One Journey. Thank you so much. My journey is great. Thank you so much for asking. Welcome, Angela in the building. She is a OG on the Oneiltv streets, as well as Nanya. Hello. Goddess London, shout out to you, the one of the best moderators in the building. Thank you so much for being here, M. Johnson. Let's see who else. Angela Powell, E Rock 1970. Thank you so much for being here in the building. Thank you so much. I do appreciate your presence here. It doesn't go unnoticed or take it for granted. Deontay Reviews in the building. What's up, Deontay Reviews in the building?
Big up yourself, Deontay. Big up yourself.
There you go. Yeah, that's his. There you go. Yeah. So thank you so much for being here, everyone. Candy B8. I just want to make sure I don't miss anyone. I just want to make sure I acknowledge everyone here because your presence is very much appreciated. So O'Neil, so I just want to get more into your story before you became Oneiltv, even before you became the professional, the author that you are. There was a backstory that started in Jamaica, yes?
That's correct. That is exactly correct.
And so how did it start for you? So were you born and raised in Jamaica, or were your parents and family were born in Jamaica and you
and then I come here?
Yeah.
No, so O'Neill
Yeah.
is entirely from Jamaica. O'Neill is born and raised in Jamaica. O'Neill only migrated here about 10 years ago.
Oh,
So that's
really?
actually yes. So
It don't
but I
seem
just
like
don't.
it, honestly.
Yeah, because I just don't lose my accent. I mean,
Yeah, it don't seem like, it
I
seemed like
just
you were here longer.
no. I've just
Yeah.
I've traveled through here, but I haven't lived here. I've lived here for 10 years. Essentially, that's really and truly what it is. Yeah, big ups to everyone, by the way, that are coming in. Thank you guys very much for rocking me all the time. And I always
Yes.
say that, and thanks for the moderators and the people in the chat. They know themselves already. The journey of O'Neill. Okay, O'Neill has been in theater and film since probably the age of 8.
Oh,
So
theater.
O'Neill has been
Okay.
doing this from the age of 8.
But
And
let me
I'm not
before
gonna.
that, yeah, before we get into that, I want to get more into your upbringing. Did you have
Mhm.
both parents in a home, single parent home, siblings, cousins? Just how
Okay,
yeah, let's
how
start
that
there.
was.
Let's start with the home.
Well, yeah. So see, O'Neill is like okay. My dad had like 7 kids. So no, my dad lived in one house, and my mom lives in the next house. Okay, and so my mom was a single mother. So in other words, she was a single mother. Much about they're playing like the Shayla character. She was a
Got
single
you.
mother. The only difference was that she wasn't in the foolishness of Shayla was in. So she'd send me to my father's house. No, I didn't like my father's house because he had too many people there and it wasn't
Mm,
big enough, right? And because I had more
hmm.
freedom by my mother's house. But the truth is, my father's role was still very valid.
Got you.
Mhm.
So the difference is that the co-parenting situation was more effective on your side. It was
It was
more
more effective.
it was more effective. And
It
so
was
how
more
was
effective.
your because you said other than the lack of space in your father's house, how
Mhm.
was your overall relationship with him? Because that's so important, especially for a boy. So how was that like for you?
My father was a man. He was a man's man. He was a man that treated a boy like, that grew a boy into a man. There are certain things that my mother could not do. She was too soft for me for certain points. So in
Okay.
other words, if she needed me to be in line for schoolwork, that was my father's job. So he'd be the one to say, hey, you need to learn your timetables. You need to be reading. You need to be studying. He was very big on that. My mother would have provided a lot of nurture, but my dad would have been the one to kind of enforce things. He was more of the
Yes.
enforcer.
He was an enforcer. So he was also more the disciplinarian.
That's correct. That is exactly
Okay.
correct.
So
Mhm.
and your mom was more of the softer, more
That is correct.
how should I say,
Nurturing, I guess you
diplomatic,
could
more
put it that way.
diplomatic,
There you go.
because that kind of remind me of like they like probably like the Jamaican version of James and Florida Evans,
That's
of good
correct.
times,
Mhm.
so they was like, now, James, but you can't you let that boy do that, that type of thing.
That is correct. That is exactly correct. That is exactly correct.
All right. So
Totally
now,
true.
but also I know you mentioned that it was so many, a lot of people in your dad's house, but it kind of wasn't it beneficial for you because you're able to develop your social skills. You was able to be um able to bond, interact with other children of in your family unit.
With
Correct?
my,
I
you
mean,
mean for my father?
like you said, there was a lot of people in your father's home. Was there other children around?
There he had again. So my dad was married, but his wife has a child
Okay.
right before she came into the marriage, and then has no a child while he's there. So those are two, and then of course I had my brothers and my sisters. To be very fair with you, I didn't like the place and I ran away from it.
You ran
So
away.
yeah, I ran away. One at a time, I ran away. I didn't go back. Like so they're where they live is like so they live kind of close, but not as close enough. So I was supposed to come home from school, and I decided I just wasn't going to go back home to my father's house. I went
Where
back
did
home
you
to my mother's
go?
house. Back to my mother's house.
Okay, yeah, you bougie like that. Okay, I see,
So
I see you.
so you know what I mean? But I guess I don't know. It was because it was very crowded for me. Like it was just a two
I get
bedroom
it.
house and it was a lot of people. And at my mother's house, I had like more space. I just had more space to move
Got it.
around and kind of be. And so that's what it was.
Yeah, I know. I understand that. I'm messing with you, O'Neil. I understand that because
I know.
growing up, it was like it was revolving door of great grandchildren. I was raised by my grandmother, so it was grandchildren, great grandchildren,
Hmm.
uncles, aunt, just like a revolving door. So did you grow up with going back? Did you grow up with other children? Did you have that interaction with
Gotcha.
others?
So yeah, I did have other children around. But only my growing was a little bit different from other people. And I'll tell you why. Because I was age 8, right? My mother didn't have a lot of money. My father made some money, but he had too many kids. So there was
Got
not
it.
enough money
He
to
was
take care of
stretched. He
things.
had to ration.
Right. So that's why I kind of started at being on stage from age 8, because at age 8, I realized that I had to make money in order to ensure that I fed myself and
Oh,
did a lot
okay.
of things. So that's
Okay.
the
So
next point of
right.
O'Neil.
Got you. Yeah, because that's where the
Hmm.
stage thing started. So you
Correct.
so you felt like, okay, before we get to that, because I want to segue into that, and I want to do that because you
Hmm.
mentioned about um how financially strained it was
Hmm.
on your father's side. So why did you feel like you had to be put in a position to contribute towards the household? Were you asked to do that? Were you pressured to do that, or you felt like that's something you had to do at that early age? Did you
That's
come
just
up with
something that I
that?
had to do. That's just something that I had to do. If I wanted things like other kids, or I wanted to do certain things, I just had to do that. Like, for example, we never had a TV until I was like age 13, and I had to buy it from
Wow,
performing
wow.
on a stage. So I was a poor kid. In case you're
Got
not
you.
getting, guys, I grew up in a house, but we were pretty poor. We never have no money.
Right, right.
So I mean, like, like it's like coming here, and when people say, "Oh, hey, it's so tough here," I laugh at these things, because I'm like, "What are you talking about? You have food to eat. You can get food stamps.
Yeah,
There
you
is
just
no
so
food stamp."
yeah, you're blessed, you're blessed.
Yeah, there
Yeah,
is no
so
food
yeah.
stamp in Jamaica. You either have it or you don't have it. So that's just as simple as that. So
So you
I
had
just
to
had talent.
yeah. So let me ask you this because so you thought of that on your own. You thought of you so because I'm wondering what like how did that mindset come to you to say, you know what, if I want certain things, I need to get it. I need to go and make a living
To have
at
it
that
done.
age. I gotta make a living to do this, to contribute and pull my weight. How did you develop
Oh,
that mindset at an early age to like to pull your own weight?
I think that okay, back then Jamaica was like that, where as a kid you just knew when you had some talent, and you knew when you were okay. So I performed like one time, and I think I made like $1,000, right? And $1,000 at that time was a lot of money. And when I got that first $1,000, and we were able to have food for maybe like a week or 2 weeks, straight, without even having to think anything else, that clicked in my mind that, hey, if I keep performing on this stage and I keep doing these various things, then hey, maybe we won't have an issue with food. So
Right.
just get it.
But
I
how
don't
did
know.
I come? But O'Neal, how did I come to you though? Like, but it had to come from somewhere to feel like you had to be the one
To do
to
that.
put your weight. Like, how did I come to you at 8 years old?
Hunger. I mean, no hunger. If you're hungry, you go and figure it out. As a kid, you just, if you're hungry,
Like,
you
I'm
go and
trying to
figure
figure out
it
like
out.
okay, what drove you? Oh, your stomach was growling, so you said, okay, let me go ahead and
Yeah.
let me go to this theater.
Okay. So
Let me-
this, you know what? This is the deal. I had a drama teacher, right? And she, um, funny enough, I wasn't supposed to be acting. I was just in there doing a bunch of different things, and I was joking around. And so, like, because I've always been like very just witty and all that kind of thing. What you see on
yes.
YouTube is just
Mhm.
me since I was younger.
Yes.
So I
Yes.
dressed up like I had one leg. You know what I mean? Like you have one foot somewhere, somehow with my pants, and she thought it was very funny. So I was like, okay, well, if y'all like that, then we'll watch this, and I would kind of do something else. And then I realized that, well, hey, you can make some money off of this. So as a kid, you kind of picked that up. I was kind of street smart, and I grew up in the ghetto. So, hey, you always have to have your head on a swivel. So if you
Yes.
find something that can make some money, you make some money off of that. It was either that, or you can get into guns and drugs.
Got true, and I'm glad you didn't go that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you go the latter route. But let me ask you though. So what made you go into that into the theater? Like how did you know that you had this talent to do that? Like what drove you to that?
So yeah, so when I did that particular thing for my drama teacher, we would do things called like we would do poetry. So it started poetry. So she would kind of give me these poems, and we have like a big festival competition in Jamaica, and it's called like the Poetry Festival, right? And so that poetry festival, you can win like being the best in the island.
Got you.
So I
Mhm.
went to the competition, and I think I was placed like second or something at that effect. So I was kind of pretty close.
Oh,
There's
you was
one
local.
girl.
Oh, so you was famous locally, like you was a local famous kid. Do you remember that poem?
Yeah, no, I don't remember it because I've done
That
so many
oh,
others. So just think this in your mind. O'Neal eventually became like, yes, if you want to say famous locally, yes, you could say that. Eventually, like I was just the guy that was always on TV, and I was always doing a bunch of these things. Till eventually, I got into like a movie. I did like a movie, while being on the island, and a couple commercials.
yeah, okay. And so it just started from It was theater at school, right? You started the theater
Mm-hmm.
thing at school because you mentioned your drama
Yeah,
teacher.
elementary school. Mm-hmm.
Elementary school, and I'm glad we're going into that because I always want to start there when it comes to academia as well, as far as elementary school. So you were into the drama thing, into the theater. That was like an extracurricular activity.
Mm-hmm.
How was your academics overall? Like, how did you interact with the children? Were you like a shy kid? Were you popular? Were you hopefully not bullied? But how was it like in elementary and junior high?
There. Well, O'Neill was popular because eventually when I did the poems, I mean, I was always the kid who did poetry for everyone. So you'd know my name. I mean, you'd know me as a kid. I'd be in classes, and of course, now you start getting some amount of favor. To see those things are encouragement. Because as a kid coming from the ghetto, where I mean, you are who you are, but no, you're like the most popular kid in school, and of course, hey, you're gonna have to continue all of this. So in my mind, I'm like, well, if I can keep this up. And it should work out. So that's really and truly what it is, But academically, I was always a smart kid, because my father, again, was very big on, like I said, timetables. He was big on those things, and he could have read. He was a better reader than my mom. So, he would have, assisted in making sure that, I get along in schoolwork. Plus, we're big on schoolwork in Jamaica. It's like it's a
Oh
big
yeah,
thing.
you ain't got to tell me. I already know. I've dealt with plenty of your Caribbean people in my lifetime, and oh my goodness, y'all really passionate when it comes to education, and which is nothing wrong with that at all.
That's right.
But I think sometimes, and I'm not talking about you, but I'm saying in general, a lot of people, especially from the West Indies, they kind of tend to look down on Americans, but that's a whole nother conversation.
We'll get into it. I'll tell you what's going on because I like it, and it's good for us to talk about.
Yes, it is because and you know what, and to be honest with you, O'Neill, on one hand, I do feel like they look down on us, but but yet you taking advantage of our resources at the same time because you migrate here, take advantage of our resources that we're not using, I guess. All right, and then also but on the other hand, I feel like on one hand, I feel like I think that there's a reason why sometimes Americans look down on because some of us ain't shit, but that's but like I said, that's just my opinion. I'm not speaking for anybody else, but it's just my opinion.
I think Jamaicans love, contrary to what Black Americans think, Jamaicans love Black Americans. What they don't like is the mere fact that Black Americans like take the BS. You know what I mean? Like as to whatever the other races give them. It's the BS that the other races give you. I think that we're upset about. It's like the relationship I have with Amber, where people think I don't like Amber, but it's not really what it is. No, I'm just giving you how we communicate. It's really our love for Black Americans and loving our own brother and sister. We just don't want to see it mistreated, but we realize that sometimes some people take it. And we're why are you even taking this mess? Like, why are you even correct? Or why are you making them think you're kind of this kind of thing versus just standing up for yourself and doing all of this? So that's really and truly what you get a lot of times from that, as well as I think it's like a marketing ploy, because that's also another thing I've come to realize. Some of these things are marketing. They're marketed to tell you that, hey, you're come here. So it's almost like a classism then. It's like what exists in Jamaica. A lot of classism where they say, well, I am more esteemed than you are, and I have a master's degree, so it means I'm better than you are. But it doesn't mean crap.
Yeah, because that's how Africans feel. Africans do that all the time. But going back to you, O'Neill, and because we we kind of spoke back on, how Jamaicans, have more of a more stronger work ethic. So going back to where I just want, because I forgot to ask this question before when you was talking about how you wanted to, pull your weight financially. Did you ever in your life feel, because I know you said you wanted to, and you said you didn't have to, because in here in America it's different. When we grow up, some people when they grow up, they as the older sibling, they tend to take on that role as the head of the household, like whether if a parent is not there, whether under circumstances, whether the other parent is a deadbeat or they passed away, or just certain circumstances that led up to that child at an early age become the breadwinner or become the head of the household and having to babysit the siblings and cook and clean and do all that stuff. And sometimes you feel like, they have the right to feel resentful at some point because like, I shouldn't be doing this. I should be, I have a life of my own. I am a child myself and I should not be in this position, even though it's, of course, you should learn these things in the long haul. You should learn these things. Of course, the bare necessities you have to learn, but not at that expense of your childhood, you see.
Makes
So
sense.
it's totally different in America. But you,
Hmm.
in your case, it's more of something that you've had the desire to do. So did you ever? My question is that did you ever feel a level of resentment? Did you ever feel like, even though you was able to discover your talent and you was able to make money off of it, did you ever feel
Hmm.
resentful? Did you ever feel like, this is something I should not have been
I shouldn't be doing.
doing
I see what you
at some
mean.
point, underlining under subconsciously?
On everything else, no, because it afforded me a certain lifestyle. To be honest with you, so you gotta check it out this way. If you're like 10, right, and you're from a ghetto, okay, you're from a ghetto where people don't have those things, or ghetto, y'all call it the hood here.
The hood.
You don't have many things, right? And then you start getting a chance to rub shoulders with like the Prime Minister of Jamaica. You're talking to the king, and the king comes and you perform for the king. And now you're starting to go to these various fancy restaurants, and you're eating fancy food, and you're staying at these fancy hotels. You're not going to resent that. You're
Okay.
going to welcome
Okay.
that,
Oh,
because it gives
that
you,
was given to you.
of course. So it gives you, yeah. So it
Oh.
gives you a balance of the two things. At age 13, I'm riding a limousine with champagne inside of the limousine. Of course, you're going to love
But
that.
wait a minute. So you were born like that, O'Neal?
At
I didn't
some
know they.
point,
Oh, I didn't know
well, I
they.
wasn't balling, but that's
I
how
mean,
that's how they treated
right.
you, as like
That's how
that,
they. That's what they did. That's what they did for you.
That's
Oh
correct.
wow.
So you're not
Because
going to resent that.
wow. So there is the difference because in America when you are when someone discovers your talent, it is like a needle in a haystack. It's like it's very scarce to
Hmm.
find someone that trustworthy enough to kind of take you under their wing and
Hmm.
to give you that treatment without exploiting you. Did you feel exploited? Were you exploited?
No, I didn't feel exploited. As a matter of fact, I want to say big ups to my drama teacher at the time. Her name is Avenia Paul. Avenia has been doing this for a while, where she
Big up
tries to.
Lavinia.
Yeah, her name is Avenia Paul, and she's been
Lavinia.
trying to. She's been trying to assist like youth, in the community, and try to see exactly how best she can assist them. I think that she came from austerity kind of means as well too, and so she wanted to kind of give back. So I knew what she was doing, and I felt like what she was doing was a good thing. So I
It
didn't mind that
was.
at all.
It
I didn't
was.
mind at all, whatever percentage you decide to take. Come on. You're a kid out of the ghetto now seeing a bunch of different things. Come on. If you want to take 10,
That's
20%, go ahead.
amazing.
That's fine.
So did you make any did you I know when did you start doing music?
I didn't start doing music. That's a good question. Until I was about 20.
Okay, so okay, pause. Okay, we'll get to that in a moment. We'll get to that because we got so much groundwork to cover. So there's still some pieces I want to kind of piece together.
Mm-hmm.
All right, place for you being famous at 13, getting limo rides and champagne. And I remember what was I doing at 13? I was in junior high, eating chicken wings and French fries for lunch, doing homework and getting fussed at by my granny. I don't recall riding in the limousine and
None of those.
going to church on Saturdays. I was Seventh-day
I'm a
Christian at
millionaire.
that time. Yeah, so and that's another thing too. Seventh-day Adventist is a big thing as well in Jamaica, right?
It
So
is.
yeah,
It is.
yeah. So yeah, I was one of those as well. I was. Yeah. So yeah, I was like at 13, I wasn't doing all that. But I think but also I think it makes you feel good to know that you were able to like help your parents out and have your family to explore those things as well, to benefit from that as well.
That's correct.
So I know that was a good thing for you guys as well to kind of. So did y'all? All right. So you in junior high, and so how did you balance it between being locally famous and getting all this going, having all this going on at a young age, and managing school as well?
You just have to manage it. You'd study at whatever time it is that you could have studied, because that was pretty much what it is. The only thing I think I was upset about, and I'll just kind of go here, not to go far up, but
Sure.
the only thing I think I was upset about the entire thing is I didn't get to do some of the things I would wanted to do. Like, I did track for a little while, but I didn't get to do track the way I wanted to do track. But again, I still wasn't mad because I understood where my mom was and I understood who she was. She didn't make a lot of money. I put it this way: my mom made like $700 a week. $700 a week.
That's a lot.
Is not.
It seemed like a lot back. Well, really?
She was making $700 when you need at least $1,000 a week for your lunch money.
Got you.
So she makes you didn't call it minimum wage. I'd call it slave wage if you ask me. Right?
Got you.
So basically, I would go make money, and my mother has weeks of money to do whatever she needed to do. So she making the $700 wasn't great. And so I saw those things for her, and I just felt like, one of the things I loved about her was her nurturing. So I always said, you know what, I'd really want to see her have, more stuff. So I think that that's really what that was. You know what I mean?
Oh,
When
yeah,
I
she wanted to make her proud. You want to make
There
her
you
proud
go.
as well.
There
So
you
let me
go.
ask you that. Okay, so going back to James in Florida. Um, so so your mom, you say she was a nurturer. So give me one of the valuable tools that she gave you. When you have, she embraced little O'Neil. And she, being a nurturing that she is. Give me one of the things that she said, or some of the one of the things that stuck with you, that she poured into you, that stuck with you. That's what I wanted to say.
Mommy wasn't a good philosopher. I'll be very honest. So she didn't give me any word verbally, but my mother was very patient, and I loved her patience. My mother had a level of calm and relax where not much things bothered her. And so I got that from my mother.
Wow.
I learned how to relax in life. So in other words, she didn't say anything in particular, because there's no quote I can come up with. Like, my mother said this and she always said this. No, I had to look to other mentors for that. But my mother was very relaxed. And to this day, I haven't found another person more patient than my mother. She's extremely patient. Some of the things I see my mother put up with is just great. And so her relaxed mode and her level of patience, I always admired that. That's what I admired the most about my mother, her patience and her calm.
And okay, and the same question about your dad. What did he still in you that stuck with you?
My father, no. My father was more of, hey, he was more the book guy, and he was more of, hey, get on top of your grind.
Education.
And I think maybe his educating piece could have been, see, now you're talking to me about it, maybe that's what it is. Maybe that helps with some of the drive that was there. Because my father was more into education, because for him, he did not get a chance to finish school the way he wanted to. I think he was a very smart man, but he never get parentage to back him. So with these 6 kids, he felt like, I'm going to try to see if I can do the best I possibly can. Now, he's gotten soft as time gone by. But
of course, he got older. Yeah.
Right. Myself and my older sister, my older brother, he was very hard. But his hardness was good, because I realized that his timetables worked, because it tended to make me one of the more brighter kids inside of class.
Gotcha.
Mathematically as well, because I love mathematics and he loved math. And we always were going at math. He wasn't the biggest of readers. He could read, wasn't the biggest of readers, but he was very, very, very strong at mathematics.
Okay. All right. But yeah, that's good. Okay, that's good to know. That's good stuff. Good stuff. All right. So now you're going through this, you have, your parents, or, you still have the presence of your parents, they're uplifting you, but also being stern as well at the same time. You're managing school, you're managing, being this local kid at the time. Okay. So did you have time to date a little? Did you have a little girl?
Yeah, man, what you mean? Yes, man. Because of Jamaica, listen, being a child star, it comes with its perks. That's what I'm saying to you. So, so when you're a child star, what you're going to find is that you're going to have a whole heap of girls that like you. So that's another. So for the ladies, I'm going to ask why Oneil has high body counts. It could be because of those things. Because of those things. But hey, it comes with it.
It comes now.
So it comes with it. So you tend to know, because you're popular. I mean, you are the popular guy.
So when did your when? Oh my goodness. So
what are you gonna ask? Because I have the answer for you. Tell me the question you're gonna ask, Faith, and I have the answer for you.
I'm trying to be
Come up with it. Don't be too nice.
When did you break your cherry? When did you break your cherry?
Long time, man. Listen to me. This is Jamaica. Jamaica.
When? So don't. When did you break your cherry?
Ah, boy. Now I get disappointed. Don't get disappointed, guys.
When did you get? Yeah, well, how do you?
9. Age 9. Age 9. I'm gonna give you all age 9. Don't try to come up with it, guys. But that's what it is. In Jamaica, it is.
I know, but Oneil, still, that's way too young. I got to tell you, that's way too young.
I mean, no, say young, but that's what you see. That's the thing with what our culture has been doing.
I know, I get it. And
I think that eventually, as you grow older, you realize that. So eventually, we realize that exactly. That's exactly what your culture is teaching. Which is kind of why I know. I kind of try to do better for my daughter.
Better,
she's now in a better place, but that's what it was.
Yeah, but also, okay, let me ask you this, and I don't want to, okay, I don't want to make it too dark, but I just was curious since you mentioned that you were 9 at the time. Did you at that time, even though you probably enjoyed it at the time, but did you ever feel like it was
Weird.
some type of level of PDF going on? Like, because I know I'm quite sure that the person that the people that you've been giving up to were older. Let's just be real about it. They were older. They weren't nine. They
Them are
weren't 9 or
9,
10.
man. No, them are, listen to me. Listen to me, Faith. So you don't know the Jamaican culture well. Let me introduce it to us,
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
So
yes,
the,
please.
so, so the JA culture is very fast. Okay, it's just
Yes,
very
yes.
fast.
That's what I'm
It's
asking. Like, at
yeah.
that time, did it feel like,
So no, because Jamaica is very over sexualized, and that's just one of those things. It's an
hmm
over sexualized place. What is happening to Black America here is the same thing that happens in Jamaica. It's over sexualized. That's exactly why I'm not a Sexy Red fan. You
Okay.
follow that? That's why I'm
Yes,
not a Sexy Red
yes.
fan or these other people that does these things. And I'm saying, oh, it's just music. It's just art. No, it is being cultured into whatever it is. That's exactly why I give it that these skits are vital, because they teach different things in life. So in Jamaican culture, it's like that. You can find that a boy at age 9, a boy at age 8, a boy at age 10 gets on very fast, or a girl, or whatever it is, and nothing is into it more than people just complain 2 times, and that's about it. Outside of it
Mm,
being thinking of any pedophilia or anything like that. That's different. We're talking about it, them being promiscuous. The promiscuity level is very,
okay,
very
got it.
high
It's very,
because it's
very
in the
high.
music. It's in the music. It's in
Yes, yes,
the shows that are shown. It's in the community. You'll
yes.
find pretty much that
It's
you
how
are
they
dogged out.
it's how they wear their clothes.
You're socialized like that. You're
Yes, yes,
socialized to have a woman. So you're supposed to have a woman.
yeah,
You're
yes. It's rite of
socialized to have
passage.
that. Correct.
Yes.
Or as well as too, you will find as well that you will have, like, when your house is small, that's another thing, because you can hear.
Oh, yes.
Okay,
Okay. The walls are thin. They talking. They're
there you go.
talking.
There you go. So now you know where them
Um,
things that come
oh,
from.
no
So you
wonder why.
can't,
Because I know some of those. Because I was involved with a Jamaican. No wonder why they're so good. No,
Yeah,
Okay,
we've
so
been working at it for a while. We're very versed. We have a degree in it. We have a degree in Pokemonomics. We have a degree.
I wonder why. No wonder. No wonder why it's so
There you
great.
go.
Yeah.
Gotta tell you why it
No
is.
wonder
Because
why it feels so good. Oh my
yes,
goodness.
because
Okay.
you've been practicing since you're young, so eventually you'll get old, and that's
Yes,
it.
you learn the
Not
craft. Yes,
Lord
y'all
God,
have these skills.
Nanya clutching our purse. Don't clutch your purse, Nanya. I
Yeah,
swear
please
to God,
don't
me have to
yeah,
just
don't.
doing the truth. I said, me have to doing the truth. Y'all are watching
Oh
it,
yeah,
so
no
I'm giving
wonder
y'all the
because
truth.
no wonder why it's so it feels so
It could be.
nice.
That's
Yes.
what's going on with the
Oh,
with the
because y'all
culture. So
very
there you go.
passionate, but and why y'all so hot headed? By the way, y'all know you're passionate, but
Wow,
y'all also
man.
very hot headed. You're high tempered.
High tempered. They've said that that's in the DNA. To what I get to understand, when they were during the time of slavery, the worst people were dropped off in Jamaica. In other words, that's what I get to understand. In other words, the people who, I shouldn't say worse, the people who were most rebellious were dropped off in Jamaica and Haiti.
Oh, so
So
they were
it's
angry. They had a lot. That I like,
in other words, you were the most volatile. You were the ones who are always been doing different. So if you look at even like when with the whole idea of slavery, we're always fighting against it. That's why you get that ear from Jamaica about what they're doing when they resist certain things. And that's why I said that some of it is not really them being looking down, and it's them being angry that you take the BS that long from the people that are
Yes.
here.
Yeah. Okay. Got
I
it.
want you to get into the psychology of where it's coming from. It's like,
Yes.
how are you taking this foolishness? How are you making these people tell you what to? Exactly. And if you know of the
Got
Maroons,
it.
the Maroons live up in the hills for years and they've never been
Yes.
conquered.
Yes.
So,
Got it.
what I mean? It is what it is. So, in other words, certain things we don't share and will never ever like. When you have like riots and those things and you have, black people being abused, trust me, nobody get upset like a Jamaican. Believe me.
True. True.
In case y'all don't realize that when them this, like they abuse black Americans or whatever it is, no one gets upset like a black American. Like a Jamaican. Nobody get upset like how Jamaicans upset. I say, I wish we could have just it's just that like those are the things you think of. So it could be that, but hey.
Got it. Yeah, duly noted. That's okay. So I do want to thank you for that explanation. That does make sense, O'Neil. I appreciate that. All right. So now, did you did you go to high school, or you were taught on the road? Like, were you on the road, or did you go to high school?
I did go to high school.
What school? What's the name of the school?
I went to a school called Kingston College. It's one of the premier boys' school in Jamaica.
Okay.
So it's an all-boys school. So you're taught to be men. So at our all-boys school, we wore a tie and we wore khaki uniforms, and the tie was meant to mean that we should be upstanding men. So that's why
was it a
sometimes
dual
not
school? was it a dual program? You said because you're at college, so was it high school and college combined?
No, it's just called Kingston College. So it's
Because
just
I
called King.
oh,
Go
okay,
ahead.
okay. Oh no,
Yeah, so it's,
what high school you went to? Okay,
so it's just called Kingston College. So Kingston
okay.
College is like it's just a boy high school, but they call it Kingston College. Like we call a lot of those things college because you get we do what is called CXC and CAPE exams. Your CAPE exams could be like college credits while you're in high
Oh,
school.
right,
You
right.
understand? You could almost have like an associate based on what you have.
Oh,
Now,
got you.
Kingston,
Oh, because here it's like it sounds like to me in America it's AP, like AP courses or like okay. Oh, I got it.
there you go. There you
Mhm.
go. So Kingston College is one of those schools where if you watch Penn Relays, if you watch the Penn Relays, which happen in Pennsylvania every year, Kingston College dominates a lot of that. You'll see guys in purple running. We have schools in like the Long Beach Poly, and those would be the ones competing against the Long Beach Poly.
Oh,
So
okay,
it's
okay.
a known school where we have lots of chapters. If you go to New York, you could find an old boy chapter. You go to Atlanta, you could find a chapter. You go in Miami, you could find a chapter. The aim of the school was built from a bishop, an archbishop, and he said he wanted to give a chance to boys who were underprivileged in Jamaica the opportunity to go to a school if they really wanted education. So it's built on excellence. And so that's why we wore that tie, and that's what it was all about, because it was built for boys who were of lesser incomes, because Jamaica may not have racism, but it has classism.
Okay, yes, yes.
You understand?
That
So
yeah,
there you go.
yeah. That I agree. That I'm aware.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. So how was it? How was it like? And how was your high school experience?
Casey, again, you're popular. I mean, I'm the dude that does the poetry. You know me. So what happens was Casey was pretty much a very, very good school. Love Casey is an all boys school. So of course you're grown to be rough because you're around boys all the time. There are no girls there, so you can't be thinking about anything promiscuous. So I think it was good that I went to Casey because I feel like Casey slowed me down a lot, because then
Yes.
I didn't have the chance to
It was
think about any
distraction
girl.
free. Yeah.
There you go. So
It's
that's what
distraction.
KC does. There you go. That's what KC did. And I think that I had a lot of good teachers at KC as well too. As well as I had one principal, well, vice principal, who she would challenge me a lot because I would always be in and out of school. Because I'd be the guy who just in school for half of the day, go out to a performance, come back in school. Or in school, you don't see me for the first week because I'm gone to shoot a movie, come back in school. So that's kind of what my high school was. But I had to kind of make sure I studied.
Yes. So how did you balance that? Because high school is more challenging because you have to. That's like a pivot time of your life. So
Well, just
how did
study.
you? So
How
you
you balance it?
okay.
Just study, just studied, like anybody else, just study, because we like book work, and we felt like book work was necessary. Like I said, my father ingrained that in me, that book work was just definitely necessary. You know what I mean? So hey, that's what you have to do. You just have to do it.
Yeah. So did you go straight from high school to college, or did you take some time in between or break in between?
I went straight from high school into college and studied the arts in college. So I did
Okay. What
that, but I
college?
also worked. I went to Exed Community College.
X
It's called Excelsior Community
Excel.
College.
Okay.
So Excelsior Community College, I did like theater in Excelsior Community College, but I also taught while going to college. So in other words, I worked as like a music teacher and as a drama teacher, but I tried to teach in like lower income communities. So those were the people who I would teach to,
awesome.
because I wanted to give back, based on what I had learned and what I felt like I had like a duty to impart that on those young men. I feel like I was very, close in giving that.
Yeah. So what was you majored in art? That was your major?
Majored in art. I
You
majored in
majored
music.
in music. Okay. And so is that how you got into music? You said you was 20. So is that was just your
Oh, that
transition?
music? How did I get into music? Oh Lord. Okay. I think
Mhm.
so. I had a band, right? And our band only did poetry. And I felt that we were limited and we needed to go to the next step. I've always been very business minded and kind of can spot trends, if that makes sense. I think
Okay.
I was good at spotting trends, and I felt like our trend wasn't enough. So what I do is, yes, it's in Kingston. Nanya says if it was in Kingston, it's in Kingston.
No, she actually did go up in Kingston.
Yes, I grew up in Kingston. Yeah, as hard as it gets, gunshot and everything. Just gunshot, pure gunshot. But anyway, so yeah. So what we did, I kind of spot a trend and decided that, you know what, maybe we needed to do more singing versus as much poetry. And so that's how we kind of transitioned into music.
Oh, okay. And so, what was your specialty in music at that time? What was your specialty? What was your instrument, or what did you do in as far as the
In
music
music.
aspect?
So I sing, which I sang. I can play the keyboard. I can play the guitar. I can play a
Oh,
bass. I can play. I just was talented. Eventually I realized that you had all this stuff. I didn't really quite know too much of how far I could have gone until maybe when I was an adult, I started realizing, you really can go very far. Like you really have like just a natural aptitude for the arts. And so I do play a lot of instruments. I could play a lot of them and taught a lot of them.
okay. So can you play? You have your guitar with you? Yeah, you
I
have
don't
your
have my
guitar near
guitar.
you.
I don't have my guitar near me because I didn't know what was going on. So I apologize,
Oh, you
guys.
should have seen. You should have been. You should have been prepared. You should have
I
seen.
should
You
have been
should have been
ready.
ready.
I should have been ready.
Yeah, but we saw some of that in the beginning. If you didn't catch the beginning of this live, you did get a glimpse of O'Neil and his
Mhm.
talent on the guitar while I'm doing one of his reviews on the Cut You Ain't Skits that we're going to talk about. So that's why I was hoping that he could get some of us, a little taste.
For
Yeah.
sure.
So did you have a band? Did you have like with the music thing? And how did you again manage the music as well as classes?
Classes on the music, I guess you just work on it. I had a band. The band is called Nomads, and that's the band that I
Romance.
talked about in the book. Yeah, Nomads is it's really a portrait. We're coming from high school, so we're all high school friends, right? And so that's how we formed pretty much a band, until eventually we get the contract with Puma, and that happened with Puma and all of that kind of stuff.
Really? You
Mhm.
got a contract with Puma?
We did.
Really?
We did.
Oh wow. So
So
you
about in the year 2011, there was like a Puma contract for with Usain Bolt, where we pretty much were like the Puma ambassadors. So we went over the
really?
so we were able to like tour the world and see a bunch of things and met with different people. Yep,
Oh Neil, you were big time. Oh wow.
we made some
Yeah.
money.
Yeah, no,
Hmm.
we don't. No, that's not something to just gloss over for real. Because I mean, Puma contract that's big. So yeah,
It is big. We did some other
yeah.
things with Puma, but yes, we did that with Puma. We also sued Puma. Well, threatened
Oh,
to sue
oh,
them. But
oh.
but yeah, because they came to Jamaica, and I guess we felt we weren't getting our just dues, so we kind of held them hostage a little bit, took some money from them, and that's about that.
And so, did it all work out at the end,
It
or
did work out. Like I
okay?
mentioned in the book, if y'all going in the book, like if people read the book, the I did mention that we did get a lot of money from them. We made over like $200,000. It's a lot US. So
Yeah.
we're talking
Yes.
US.
Right.
So in
Right.
Jamaican currency, that's millions and millions of dollars. We were able to buy a bunch of different things. That's why we owned a bunch of Mercedes Benz and drove around. And people say, "Oh, it's the Benz crew."
Mm.
That was the idea. But as you grow,
Right. Right.
realize some of that is
Mhm.
just
Mhm.
it's just nonsense.
Yeah. So let me ask you because you went to college, you getting Puma contracts, you just doing it big, big, big time, and so how did that segue into you moving to the U.S.?
How did I move into the US? I got married.
Okay. Okay.
I got married, okay, and I did not want to move to the US at all because also, the stigma that goes with that, oh yeah, hey, you only want to get married to come here. So I got married and probably lived out of the US for 2 years, in all fairness, because I did not want to get a green card at all. And I said, I don't want a green card because me go here say, oh, you'll come here so for a green card and blah, 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 blah. So I said, I'll travel back and forth because I already had like a visa. So I already had visas that I could move around the world with. So I was like, no, I don't want to do any of that. But as time went by, I think my daughter's mom lived here. And so she moved here and she wanted to move her here. And I was like, well, all right, should I come? No. And so I guess we worked it out and I said, all right, fine, I'll stay and, try to kind of do this whole America thing. So you kind of have to start back over and then you have to go back to school again to get American schooling. And that's how that worked out.
Okay, so let me go back because I want to make sure that I cleared up. You said your daughter's mom was already, yeah, because you said daughter's mom and then you got married. So
My daughter's mom, so my daughter's mom left when she was about 5 months old. Okay.
oh,
Right. So that's why O'Neil so tricky with the Sheila and Anthony subject. Now you realize
got
why
you,
why O'Neil is this
got
is
you.
locked in and he doesn't play when people do
So
the
she
other things.
left
I'm
with
like,
your
no, no,
daughter.
no.
She left with your daughter
No,
to
no, no.
America.
So she left to go America, but she left my daughter in Jamaica while I was there.
Okay.
Right.
Oh,
And
okay.
then
All
and
right.
then and then the same thing that you see Angelina playing, that's how her mother was trying to play as well.
Ah,
Because I was being asked the same question like Anthony, where they're asking Anthony to buy the house. But mine was,
yes.
hey, I need to pay her mom to be the nanny. And I'm like, no, I'm not paying you to be a nanny. You're a grandma.
Okay. So you're
So
using that
yeah.
child as leverage. Okay, got you.
So all that way of seeing some of it is,
yes,
you know what I mean? It's
yes.
very
It's triggering.
identifiable.
It's triggering. Yeah.
That's why Oneil can talk about it. And that's why Oneil is very passionate with some of the subject because it is really and truly true.
It's real,
You
right?
know?
It
It's as
relates to
real
you.
as it gets. That's why I love the country it gets. Because it's
Okay,
just that real.
so yeah, so you left to raise your daughter at that time while she went
She went to the States. Right. She went to
okay.
the States. And my daughter had a visa. She could travel back and forth. But she went there to be there. But she left her here in Jamaica. So I didn't kind of want to leave her. That was another thing too. I'm like, hey, I don't want to leave my daughter, you know,
Right,
there and
right.
whatever else it is. And but my wife kept asking at the time, hey, you know, but you know, you're not moving over here, and you know, why? And I should be filing green card. And I'm like, well, I don't even want to depend on a woman on a green card right now because I have more money. I need to depend on y'all green card stuff. But that's what it was, you know.
Okay, so once you so how old is your daughter now?
My daughter is now 14.
Okay, so when you decided to move, how old was your daughter when you moved to US? I'm trying to
How
just
was my
want to make sure
daughter?
that
It's good. She is. Are you trying to get my age? She is.
no, I'm gonna put the pieces together
Oh, you'll
because
put
you
a piece
said
together.
yeah,
No
because
problem.
yeah, because you said your daughter mother's left you with her your daughter was 5 months at the time.
She was 4.
Yes.
She was about 4 going on 5. That's exactly when, like somewhere there, that
Okay.
I decided, no, okay, you know what? Let's just kind of move to the US and see exactly if we can, because of the pressure from the wife that's here,
Okay, so let
which.
me. I'm sorry, O'Neil. So I want to make sure I establish a timeline
Mhm,
for me, myself as well as the audience. Okay,
mhm,
so your daughter was 5 months at the time when her mother left to
mhm.
move to US,
That's
and
correct.
so you decided to move. Your daughter was 4 when you moved. So
About
when did
4 or 5.
4 or 5? So
Mhm.
when did you get married? I mean, so when did the marriage take place? And
I got married in about 2013, and I didn't move to the US until 2015. Does that make sense?
yes,
There you go.
okay,
So that should help there. So what had happened is that I've been with my daughter's mom for about, say, I had been with her for about 10 years.
mm.
I was going to try and marry her, but the girl was just difficult. You see what Anthony's going through with Sheila? That's who she was. Right? So just so you know what I mean. She just not as bad because me would have probably chick to clap, you know what I mean, which is different than what Anthony's doing. Anthony's giving in, but I'm not giving in. So that's
No,
exactly what
right.
it was, right?
Mhm.
So we broke it off. And so she leaves and comes to the United States and they say, hey, she's going to do her little thing here. I said, okay, fine, that's fine. But then she left the kid there. I didn't even know she left. That's
Oh, you
another
didn't.
piece of the puzzle.
Oh,
No, she didn't tell me. So she just leave and gone, but left this kid with her grandmother, and I don't know that. And I'm like trying
how did
fire.
you
I'm like,
find out?
because I was. How did I even find out? I think I kept asking for her and couldn't hear, you know, like where she was, and I'm like, wait. And then eventually the mom told me, no, she has already gone. She's not coming back, and I'm like, so what are you doing with her? How come how come you have her? You know what I mean? Like she still have like a father, so how you have her? So that's how that works out.
Wow. But well, kudos to you for um taking on that responsibility of parenting, because not a lot of men are struggling with that, as you can see, not only on the skits, but just in real life, how men are even struggling with
Mhm.
building a life with their children, or sometimes they don't even want to even have a relationship with their children. So I commend you for taking on the responsibility in that way. So when you got into, what was it like when you first got into America? When you you know place your foot in the pavement of the U.S. How was that like for you?
The first visit that was more for living because remember I'd come here while being a kid and during my other life I
Right,
came here for
right.
tours, so that's different. But the first time coming here, living here, it's just new. So it's like, okay, you're gonna have to rely on this system to live in this particular system. But being that you're Jamaican, you're kind of, hey, you don't sweat it. You just know you need to do what you need to do. Just put it that way. You know what I mean? Like it's that mindset again from being 8 again. It's like, hey, all right, you're gonna have to provide. So you need to find out how do you provide? What do you need to do in order to provide? And so that's where that just started. They decided, hey, you know, you need to go back to school, all of that. So that's pretty much it.
So when you moved to U.S., did you move straight to California, or did you live
No.
somewhere else?
So I lived in Pennsylvania. So I lived in the
Oh,
cold. So I never liked the cold. For
me.
those who want me to know, I had to shovel snow and I didn't like that. I'll tell you that
Yeah,
much.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
but
know. Yeah.
but what I did enjoy was throwing snowballs. So I and now
Oh,
splattered a couple of kids because I always wanted to do that. You know what I mean? Like as a kid, you know, growing up, you'd watch snow on TV. And so once I came here and saw snow, I just roll up a snowball on the first white kid. Well, let me not say white. But anyway, the first kid I saw, was like, slap, you know? So it's a kid in me. I had to do that. But it was just, for the white people are out there, it's not just white kids. I was smacking other kids. Don't worry. It's just a snowball, man. Come on.
It's a snowball. Yeah, we used to doing snowball fighting and snowball
It's
fighting.
what we see. It's what I see on TV. So that's what that was. But yeah. And so I kind of just went to school, and that's when I finished up I did the next degree, which was my bachelor's in business administration, to know where I have my master's in social work.
Okay, I'm gonna get to that too. But what made you decide to go to Pennsylvania?
That's where she lived. My wife lived in Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay, got
Right.
you.
So she lived in Pennsylvania, and that's where her family's from, and she's from Pennsylvania. She lives in a small town called Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Very small, in the middle of Pennsylvania. So think as wide as can be, as mayonnaise as possible.
Mm-hmm. Not the mayonnaise on the elbow.
It's as wide as can be. So it's very white. It's but you know what? The people are cool, and then. And then, though, I'll say this. I see, though, some of the things you're saying before in the beginning. I see, though, some of the treatment. Because I was from an island, I will say this. The white people seem to treat me different from the people who are here, who are black. Mm-hmm. I think their word to use for it was we were exotic.
Okay. Got it.
So that's what I think. You know, I think that's one of those things that is thrown out there. So, but again, I was like a musician, and so people love musician, and you're a star, and you love reggae music. Hey, people, you know, you have an accent.
It's going to be embraced. Oh yeah, that's going to be appreciated. It's going to be embraced. So, what school did you graduate from? Or what college did you graduate from with your bachelor's?
Here, you know what? I went to, you know what? I did online college at Georgia, in Georgia, which is a school, Ashworth College.
What's it called?
Ashworth College. So I did
Ashworth. Okay.
Yeah, I did a bachelor's in Ashworth College, which is funny enough in Georgia. It's interesting.
Right.
In Georgia. And then I did the master's at.
How did that happen? What made you decide to do that? It was because of the program.
You know what? I'm not going to take her credit. It's that wife at the time that did that.
Okay.
So it's my wife at the time that did that. And by the way, in case y'all know, I have a different wife, so it's two wives. So it's my wife at the time that did that. My wife at the time said, "Hey, why not? You love business so much, right? And I know you have the arts and all of that. Why not just do a business degree instead this time?" And so she was the one that said, "Hey, do that practical thing." And I'm like, "All right, cool. Let's go for it."
All right. So you feel like, was that the good advice on her part?
It was good advice, because at the time we were having issues as the band. And I felt like the band did no business as well, which is why I kind of wrote the book I wrote now, which is the shepherd who lost his sheep. It's really based on that, like business things. I've kind of picked up that you kind of need to learn certain portions or else you don't get it. And I feel like it's one of those things that is not taught as well to the black community. Like, we don't get taught business the way we should get taught business. I see it here, and I see it in Jamaica as well. We're not business savvy. We have whole heap of talent, but no business.
True. And that's something that definitely needs to go hand in hand. So yeah, kudos to your ex-wife for giving that advice, because that definitely goes hand in hand, because you'll be railroaded like crazy if you don't have that business mindset. So yes, I'm glad that you took that route. And so you moved to Pennsylvania, you married your daughter, you're living that big nice family life, you college graduate. Where did you go with that degree after?
Let's see. I started you have to start from the bottom when you come in Jamaica. That's another piece of the puzzle, right? Like, meaning America ain't going to just put you in positions.
Did you still do music?
I still did music. I always did music because people wanted to see you sing. Like, we were the only, so I had like a couple other bandmates that were here as well too. But we're like the only person that does reggae music in that part of the place. So people, you're just like giving somebody something that no one else has. So people pay for it, you know what I mean? So that's the idea of it. So of course we were able to do the music that way. But so that was one way of feeding myself, as well as I worked with just a couple like agents like Fee. I remember working with the student loan people. So I saw student loans and got the chance to see a bunch of people's student loans and what people are paying.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
I'm sure you did.
That was something to look at, you know what I mean? So yeah, I saw that. Worked with Fee, and I worked with like an oil company. There's an oil company here that I worked with, which was pretty cool. I think I got the job based on my ex-wife's father's wife. So that's why I got that particular job. So yeah.
Okay. So you work in a regular job. You live in a family life. But let me I want to get more into your family life. Because
Go ahead.
you've been married a couple of times. You got child. Do you want more children?
I want another kid. I want a boy. I have
Oh
a
yeah,
bunch
of
of
course,
girls
of
and I
course.
want a boy, just like Anthony. So see, me share sentiments of wanting a boy, but I'm not going to not do a DNA
No,
test.
no, don't do it that way. Don't do
No,
it
no,
that
no, no,
way.
no, no. I mean a DNA
Don't
test.
don't, don't sleep with your wife's best friend, please.
No, no, no,
Don't
no,
don't,
no,
don't do
no, no, no.
that.
I'm more of I want a kid in wedlock.
Yes,
I'll
yes,
put it that
yes,
way. So that's what
yes.
my thing is. That's the
Amen.
thing
I
again.
get it.
So
Hmm.
if I can't get that, and I don't want it at all. So I'll tell
Got
you
it.
that. That's the difference with my name. Mm-hmm.
So let me ask, because I want to learn more about and I don't want to pry too much, but it'll be messy at the same time. So
That's okay.
so throughout your journey, you've been married twice already, and you have this child. You have that experience. So you have many teachable moments that I know that you can't
Mm-hmm.
share all at once, but overall, what did you learn about you as a
What I
person,
learned about me.
yeah, what about you as a person, as a boyfriend, as a husband, as a just um or and then being able to learn at an early age how to um make ends and how to pull your own weight, and being able to have that principle
Coming
as you
forward.
got older. And so, and and having all the sex escapades and all that
Mm-hmm.
stuff. So how did that how that
Let me learn that.
overall
Okay,
teach
well,
you to be the person, how did it make you be who you are?
I'll say this. The first thing I learned was that we're very like I was saying in the beginning when we were talking about like just the whole idea of me being 9 and being promiscuous. It was in that first marriage that I kind of started to learn how cultured I was. In other words, what the culture had been doing to me as a person. So I learned that the culture doesn't really teach faithfulness. It doesn't. You know what I mean?
No,
And
it
so that's
doesn't.
why a Jamaican man is wild, because it just don't really teach that. He's taught to be a gallus and have, which is a man who has a lot of men, and he's taught to have enough girls in bungle. In other words, he must have a lot of them. That's what is sung to him over and over again. Over time, I kind of started to realize that that's not what you kind of want at all. I also got a chance to hang around other ethnicities, more white people, and not that we never see them in Jamaica, but there wasn't as much as there is here. That's the difference. So when I started to come here and living in Pennsylvania, I saw people and families, and I saw how people were very big on families. Specifically, I saw how white families ruled, and I
Mm,
realized them have a certain thing where family was very, very big. Not that they didn't have issues and they didn't have problems,
of course,
but
right. I
some
get
way,
it.
somehow, they were able to keep those families together, which also gives me the reasoning that, again, a lot of what happens in our black community is an attack against the black community. And I don't want to make it
Mm,
seem like it's terrible,
yes,
but that's really not
yeah,
true what
it
it
is.
is.
It
It is
is.
to break families apart, which is exactly what O'Neill is for families. I'm pro family, pro black family, because I've
Yeah,
seen exactly it on different scales. I see exactly what it does for those families. I see exactly how the family is able to send kids to school, how kids go college, and how people, how you have a mother in the house and a father in the house, and no one is greater than the other. They're
yeah.
just there to do different roles. So that was something that I think that kind of highlighted a lot of those things to me. So I had to learn that while being here. I would say that much.
Okay, so that's my next question too, because how did you learn that? Because you went from one extreme to the next. You went from
How I learned that.
being promiscuous. You putting yourself out there. And yes,
Mhm.
as you get older, as you mature, you would think that would die down. So you decided to settle down, but and then it's so kind of in a sense. I mean, I'm glad that you took this role, but I'm disappointed at the same time. But not in the sense that the fact that you said that you use the black family unit, I mean the white family unit as a model, and not many black families have that type of. I mean, not saying they don't have that type of unit, but
Mhm.
there's so many broken homes among the black families. It's so common to where you modeled after a white family. So it's disappointing, but it's powerful at the same time. I should say.
Well,
Um,
hey, I mean, I look at it this way. I think that every ethnicity has something we want, and we have something every ethnicity wants. And so I'm okay with knowing that somebody else may have something that I can learn from. Like, I mean, like, for example, do I find sometimes that sometimes like the American culture can be individualistic, where it's like, hey, it's me, I'm the star, I'm shining, which can be seen as, geez, you're pompous, you're cocky, or whatever it is. But at the same time, it's a good trait to also have, because you need some confidence.
Of course.
So that's what I'm saying. In other words, that, you know, I mean, it's almost like one of those things where you kind of have to work with, and that's why I keep saying that the Black family is really under attack, because really and truly we have been under attack. Like, for example, I'll give you this. Even though I love my mother, and you know, we love her down to the earth, we love her a lot. For years, my mother didn't make it seem as though my father was a dad.
Oh, really?
Yes, because she would say, no good. He's not good at all. He's no good father. He's not do this. He doesn't do that. He doesn't do this. He doesn't do that. He's not a good man. But he's done these things. And that's why I would argue for like a lot of things in the skits. When you see me arguing those things, it's because I've experienced those things. Where my mother does say, no, do not. You know,
but I'm glad But I'm glad you found out the truth as you got older.
Exactly. So you would have to. So as you grow older, now you start realizing. But it takes a while for guys to realize this. Sometimes it takes a while for them to see these things. You know what I mean? Like they would have to go somewhere else to see it or so. You know what I mean? Like, you know, they'll just give them that. It's tough that I had to come to like a PA, but maybe a part of it was because I was so, I would say, disattached from Jamaica, that I had to observe other things. In other words, you're not just in like a routine. You're not just in like a cycle, a spinning cycle going around. So being in Pennsylvania, my eyes were like, okay, you're more alert because it's the unknown. So now looking at the unknown, what do you see? That's the question, because that's what my mentors always told me to do. When you get into a particular space, what are you seeing? What are you looking at? That's the question.
Yes, that's true. Right. You're gonna, go off what you see. You got to live by example. Yes, so I get it. I get where you're coming from. So you say you work these jobs, you living your best life at this point. So what made you move to California?
What made me move to California? What a good question. There you go. So that's where my second wife comes in. My second wife is from California, right? And I don't regret moving to California. She's from here.
Yeah, give me the backstory. How did you and your wife meet? How did y'all meet? Give me a love story. Give me your story.
So our love story is that we lived on this complex in Louisiana. Okay.
Louisiana.
Right. She has a kid. I have a kid. These kids decided to go to the pool at the same time. And that's how we meet. That's it.
For the children.
That's literally it. You know what I mean? I met her while she was finishing up her doctorate, because she has a doctorate. So I met her while she was finishing up her doctorate, and I started asking her questions, you know what I mean? And she'd tell me about her doctorate and things like that. And then I asked her where would she live, because I was like, I'm big on, I was going to move out to Louisiana and move to say like a North Carolina. And she said, you know what? I'm from Cali. I probably would go back to California or Nevada. And I'm like, well, I've never really been there. I know it's expensive. Well, I've been there, but I've never lived there. And I'm like, I don't know if I live there because I don't know anybody there. But then that's so, we came here. So that's what it is.
Okay. And so do you regret your decision to move to California? Are you happy?
No, I love California. California, the weather is good. Yeah, the weather is good. The weather is very good.
Right.
The weather is good. The weather is close to, you get a lot of Jamaican sunshine. I mean, sunshine, I feel like Jamaica. And you have some of the coldness, but there's no snow. So that's good as well, too. And I have gotten a chance to be more around another set of Black people. There you go again. So I love that. So her family is, she now has like a lot of, Black family things. And I get a chance to learn from her family dynamic and things like those. And I get a chance to see other type of Black people and stuff. So that's pretty cool. Not that I haven't seen many, but I interact more, you know what I mean? Like here I'm able to interact more. So yeah.
But I'm just glad that you was exposed to so much diversity, Oneil, throughout your lifetime, between the move, between your family life and your professional life. You seem like you're, very well versed in different cultures, different experiences, and different groups of people. So I'm glad you was able to experience that. So now you moved to California, and that's where you got your master's, correct?
That's where I got my master's.
Yeah,
got my master's in California. Got my master's from California Baptist University. And funny enough, again, it's that wife that said, hey, why not do your master's in a social work? Because, whatever it is, and I say, all right, fine, let's go. So,
you just go with the flow, huh? So why social work?
Social work because I felt like I liked housing. So I did a lot of housing when I was in Pennsylvania as well. And I did some housing so I was a realtor in Pennsylvania. I had a Pennsylvania license, had a license in Louisiana as well. So I did a lot of real estate for a long time. And then I realized that I could mix social work with real estate in the form of housing, like
How
necessary housing
so?
and stuff.
Yeah, that's interesting. How so?
Well, people need house. I mean, people
Yeah,
are
but how did
homeless.
it? Oh, okay, got it. That's what I wanted to hear. I
That's what
want.
you mean.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. People are
Yeah,
homeless.
yeah.
So being in New Orleans, there were. I remember like doing some property management for an investor of mine, and I would see a lot of people who would come by and they'd have these Section 8 vouchers, and them just needed a place, and I couldn't provide it for them at the time. And I remember it was just kind of crushing, to kind of see that, because they would discriminate against them because I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
them going, they're about to destroy the house and no Section 8, and you know what I mean. So
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
that's
So
the
yeah, Section 8 recipients get a bad rep. They do.
they do.
Yeah. So how was that? Okay, so how did that come into you? Becoming an author. How did that come about?
Well, I had many stories to tell.
Yeah. So
My life is long. I just have one of those long lives, if you see. There it goes. So that's one of the first books I wrote, and I feel like I kind of needed to write like a book. You know, yeah, I just had a very long life. I mean, I'm giving you a synopsis of it right now with y'all. I mean, I'm really just giving like a brief, because I can't have to condense it in 1 hour in the time we have on
right.
here. I mean,
Yeah, but
but
give like like
so
just
that's
like
my
just the cliff notes. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. What about me? Your 30-day mental health awareness journal.
Yeah, so after my first marriage and the time I'd spent, in solitude to find a lot of things out and to discover, why things didn't work the way it worked and what I could have done better because you have to spend time to do those things. That's why I'm a big proponent of Amber spending time alone. If you
Yes.
get exactly why I give her all of that and why I think she needs to not people not being in her ear. So again, so I love her, but people don't understand that that's the love me have for her because I've seen a lot of me in Amber. So when you see me get upset, it's just the Amber that's in me that I'm responding to. That's all. That's
Yeah,
really
no, and
what's
I
going
no,
on.
and I get it too because I'm like, I'll be on the other side of the screen, like, wanting to like kind of put Amber into a chokehold, like, girl,
Just lock
girl,
her
like,
up, you know.
like, like really. I mean, look, I understand because and the thing is, she uses her relationship with God as a crutch, but we'll get more into that.
Mhm.
But yeah, so and the shepherd who lost his sheep.
The shepherd who lost his sheep is, and see, the shepherd who lost his sheep comes from. Uh, I think I needed to talk about business. So this is kind of part of the nomad story, but it's like a very brief part of the nomad story. I felt I need to tell something about the story, which is how people tend to lose people who really care and are loyal to them. It's almost like how pretty much Anthony loses Amber. Amber is following behind him with all of these things, and he just doesn't see it that he has this woman's attention. So Anthony could actually be the shepherd losing his sheep as well. We've lost a lot of sheep in our lifetime because we just have not paid attention that these are good people for us. Whether it's a partner, whether it's a lover, whether it's a friend, whether it's that you're in a group or whether you're in a business, that's exactly what that is. And so, sometimes you get selfish. Sometimes you start feeling yourself too much and you forget that the people are the ones that help you and help to put you there. I mean, America is in that right now, as we can see. You know what I mean? You
Yeah,
see that
yeah,
people have been
yeah.
following underneath the current administration and following behind and following behind. But hey, the people are just, they don't know what to look for anymore. You know what I mean? What are the hopes they're looking for? So that's what it is.
Yeah, so walk me through that process as far as your journey towards becoming writing. What started that like what made you the minute click to you saying I want to write a
Want
book.
to write a book?
I write books. And what was your give me what your journey was like as far as how did you what was your mindset at the time? Give me more of your journey as far as how did you put your notes together, your ideas together, and how
Mhm.
and explain more about your collaboration with the other authors as well.
I got you. So for the good question. So for the first book, let's see. I said, you know what? I wanted to do something for people that they could use, like a book that them could actually use that's practical. I'm gonna read and I'm gonna do some things in it. Okay. My wife, which is now, she has, excuse me, a doctorate. And so I can lean on her for a lot of information because she's a wealth of knowledge. She's a walking encyclopedia. You know what I mean? She probably will find this out. When she watched this, or what I mean, she probably listen to me. She's a walking encyclopedia when it comes to social work. And I feel like she's very good at social work. But I think I have a lot of social work in me, but it's from a different space. It's more like from street social work, I think.
Got it.
Meaning
Mhm.
that when I was younger and I did a lot of the arts, a lot of what we were doing was social work, but I didn't know that. Like, for example, we do a lot of campaigns for like AIDS and about putting on condoms. So we do like skits to do those things. That's why, again, rip on people with the skits. I'm like, guys, trust me. We've been doing these things. So that's how we know what the skits are doing. So we would have done these skits in the communities to teach people about condoms, to teach them about safe sex, to teach them about diseases. So we would have to write skits to teach them about things like that. So I wanted to do something like that, to kind of model that, something that people could be helped with and say, all right, you know what? Let's do this particular book, but make it a little exciting where it's not too long and it's not like an encyclopedia and people like, oh God, we can't do this. So it's like a journal. You sit down and you read this particular journal and, you know, have the journal help you. You know, I'd have liked to have that journal. And during the time that I spent after my first marriage was a very good time. And so I kind of used some of the things I did during that time, you know what I mean? That kind of helped me to kind of come back up, you know, and to be able to be a bit more clear.
And so how was the clarity for you then when you started writing and during the process of your writing journey? How was the clarity differ then and now? How's the clarity differ?
Well, I think you just get older as time come by and get more knowledge, and so you'll probably just get a bit more clear into how to express things. I think I looked how people took the book. A lot of people bought it and some people read it and them like what they were getting. Yeah, and I think that's just that. I think now more than anything else, from going to California Baptist University, which is a good university, and I saw a lot of, again, I mixed with a lot of other cultures. I felt like I was able to state even more. So I think that gets you clarity even more because you get a chance to listen to other people. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
And so you listening to other people, okay? How do you gather? Okay, I think it might be. I don't know if it's a two-part question or not. It's kind of lengthy, but
that's fine.
When you listen to different people, okay, now how do you approach it? No, how do you approach? Okay, we listen to people when you hear their experiences. How do you listen to it from a social work standpoint versus human standpoint?
Okay.
Social worker Oneil.
Social worker and Oneil. Well, you listen to the story for what it is. You give an opinion. I generally do this. I generally listen to your story for what it is. Whatever you're telling me, listen to it for what it is. Then I'll give an opinion, and then I'll question the two. So I'll pretty much question what I'm thinking. Hey, I'm a question myself. Oneil, why do you think you're more right than anybody else? And I will question myself. So even when I ask questions on the channel, I will question, well, why you think you're right? Why you think, you know, Amber is doing, why you think you're correct? And then I'll ask, you know, well, why does Nanya think she's correct? Or why does Goddess Lana think she's correct? Or why Faith is a substance think she's more correct than anybody else? So it's asking those questions, and in that you'll get answers, you know, as you go along. I'm big on meditations and thinking that, you know, you'll get things from the ether and from God in itself, and God will kind of reveal things to you as you go along. So, you know, I think I have a very spiritual look at life, you know what I mean? Very, very spiritual, you know what I mean? You know, I believe in God, and, you know, I think God delivers things to you as time come by. I think we get words just like Moses. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. It's finished. I'm sorry.
I was saying just like Moses would hear from God. I think we can hear from God too. I need to link a high priest and say, hey, priest, tell God this and see if him will tell you. Yeah, I can go ahead and talk to him myself and ask questions. You know what I mean? So walk or drive by myself and say, hey, answer this question for me. God.
Yeah, because I'm glad you mentioned that, because, you know, because overall, based on what you mentioned, there's always a why. There has to be a why there. Mm-hmm. So how do you so with that being said, how do you learn from those whys? How do you learn from those?
From the whys that are there? Well, checking out people's why and check out your why together, you know what I mean, and put them together. So I think I do a lot of that. I try to find what are people's why, you know, why do you do the things you do, you know what I mean, and, you know, what are their motives then? In other words, I guess not too judgmental. Honestly, I'm not too judgmental. I mean, I will pass a judgment on something, but it doesn't mean I'm going to beat you up on it.
Or arrogance. Yeah, because arrogance will help either. You know, when the arrogance will really hinder you from getting.
Right, I'm not going to beat you up. Yeah. I'm not going to beat you up on it. I'll tell you what I think very harshly, but when I'm done, that's it. Yes. I'm over it.
Yes, but fair.
If you decide you want to jump into the cliff after I tell you don't go into the cliff, that's on you. That's but I'm going to tell you, It's
Yeah.
stupid to go into the clip. I'm going to tell you all of that. It's dumb because if you can go in there and you can do all of these things and then you say, I'm going to jump in. Well, hey, I warned him. It is what it is. That's
Right.
it.
That's it. Right. I get it, and I hear you very well. So now you go from there, you live in a family life, graduated, you become a social worker,
Mm-hmm.
realtor, you're doing all these things, you're parenting,
Mm-hmm.
and then you become a YouTuber. How did that happen?
How did I become a YouTuber? It's just another trend. Number one, there's two things. Two things. I think I wanted to be YouTube, number one, but the Country Wayne skits came on. I'm gonna be very honest with you with this. The Country Wayne skits came on. I've always wanted to do YouTube. And then again, like you ask God question, what should I do on YouTube? I don't want to do any old thing on YouTube, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then the skits started coming on. And I saw these skits and I said, you know what? Wayne has something. And I don't know if he knows what he has. Because he started to do those skits from before he had the other channels, and like he was doing a bunch of different skits, and him they have Jesse Lyris on it from before, and whatever it is, and him and Jesse Lyris and him and Chantel, and yeah, God's way as far back when. And I said, you know what, Wayne have something because he's starting to bring up real topics. Yes. And the skits were very topical, which was very, very nice. And I felt like the topics were
relatable,
very insightful and very relatable, because I was like, find myself, like I said, what, you can't have this happening. And I'm like, you know what, maybe I should comment on these skits. So I said, all right, fine, I'm gonna just react to the skits then. So I started reacting to the skits, right? Get cussed out.
Of course,
so the first channel, the YouTube,
that's how you break. That's your breakthrough right there. That's how you break into it.
The first channel got cussed out. People say, look at how you're stealing his content and you're doing this. And I said, guys, the truth is I'm actually spreading Wayne into the algorithm. And they didn't understand what was going on.
Absolutely.
But I kind of knew what was going on. The more of the review channels we do, the more spread out the name Country Wayne is in the YouTube algorithm.
It really is.
Which makes him more popular. So I was like, you know what? Should I worry about these people that are complaining about this, or just say that, you know what, I'm going to just do this thing where it benefits people who watch it, whether if they want to talk about this kid, them can talk about it live and react to it. And, we have conversations about little things. And so that was kind of the thing. And the rest was just history. So I did it for a while. And then the YouTube platform was very strict back then. So it would flag it every 2 seconds. It would have flagged this and it flagged this video. And you have to clean up this video. And you have to clean that video up. And then eventually, I had to pretty much them strike the whole channel off.
What?
YouTube take up the entire channel.
Yeah, that's just
right. So then demonetize the channel. But that was the earlier stages of all of this that y'all are doing with the Country Wayne skits. That was the earliest channel. So Oneil, I forgot you. Oneil was a scapegoat.
Yes.
That's what's going on.
You walk so all these people could run. Yeah.
Right. So I was a sacrificial lamb for all of this stuff. So my channel gets struck in total. So I had to kill the channel, right? Wow. And once I killed the channel, then I said, okay, you know what? I said, I don't want to do this again because I feel like it's not enough. And then me even stop watching the shows. And then eventually I said, no, Oneil, you can't do that. I mean, it's bigger than you. It's just bigger than you. And I just think that's why, you just do it well. You just do it well. And so I recreated the channel again and then started again, but say, you know what? I'm going to change the format as to how I do things on it. Then the platform got a bit more friendlier. And then as the platform got more friendly, I said, all right, you know what? I'm going to start now going into more lives, because then when you do the lives, then it's more of the video that you're seeing, and then the watch time. So I was talking to you about watch time. That's where I get some of them things there from, because you kind of learn it. So that's why I say, don't waste the time learning it. I'll tell you, just watch time. You need watch time. Yes, you don't need the education. Yes. It's too costly. So you need watch time. So basically that was what was going on until eventually now we created this whole entire thing. And so, I say, you know what? No, I wanted the platform to be somewhere where we could sit down and talk about these kids, but talk with it from an educational standpoint, and then integrated more social work into it and all of that. So it's just, that's really what it is.
Yeah, because I okay, so let me just get into one of the main storylines that you do review on, and that's the
Amber,
love triangle between Amber, Sheila, and Anthony. So let's just give an overview of what the storyline is, so people in the audience, just in case they don't know, so they can have a better understanding. Because when we get into more context, we need more context to what we talk about. So Amber, Anthony, Sheila. Where did we start? Lord Jesus. Anthony and Amber.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Anthony and Shayla were best friends. Okay, let's start there.
Mm-hmm.
Amber married to Anthony.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so Shayla had feelings for Anthony. She been
Right.
fantasized about Anthony.
Mm-hmm.
While she was still with Country Wayne's brother Arby. She
Mm-hmm.
was still fantasized about Anthony. Of
Right.
them, to the point where she went to bed one time. Okay, let's
Mm-hmm.
put two together, you guys. Um, she had this overall obsession of wanting to be where Amber was because I think she was a bit. No, she was envious of Amber. Amber
Mm-hmm.
was a businesswoman. She came in with her style and grace that she has now. She
Mm-hmm.
came with style. Even I didn't like Amber at the time either. She got an
Mm-hmm.
issue with her at the back then too. But
Mm-hmm.
anyway, Shayla had deep rooted envy towards Amber, but Amber couldn't see it because she's very trusting. People could say she's dumb and naive, but at the same time, she's just really trusting. She
Mm-hmm.
feels she's very loyal to a fault. So
Mm-hmm.
she really took her friendship with Shayla very seriously. But Shayla, on the back end,
Mm-hmm.
was conniving. She was strategic and calculating to the point where during the process of planning Amber's wedding, she tried on her wedding dress.
Mm-hmm.
And so these things were just building up. And so I'm trying to add some cliff notes to it. Only help me out.
All right, so let me add a part to it. So
Yes.
there's another context that I'd give you another piece of the context.
Yes.
Another part of this entire story is this: Amber was also not really. She was looking for a husband, but she was not looking for a husband. Does that make sense? Meaning that she have this boyfriend, and she has Wayne as a person she knows. Okay. Now, one of the things why Shayla got so upset as well too is because in Shayla's mind, Amber would just get these men. She couldn't get these men, but Amber would just off the fly, not be doing anything. Amber was living in the mood of
Envious.
just there you go. She was in this ominous mood. So that's what it is. So Amber would get these particular men. Now, one of the things with Amber I think one of the things Shayla had seen as well, to which I'm gonna give something here, is that she felt like Amber was abusing getting these men. And so she's like, you know what? You don't even care for any of these men at all, but they're just still flocking you.
They're still
So that's another piece of what was going on with the whole Amber and Shayla idea. So there's a lot to it. Now, of course, Shayla is extremely envious, and eventually, of course, she swings way to the side of whatever it is. But a lot of it got triggered by a lot of those things. You know what I mean? Like she just could not get the idea that Amber was getting all of this attention. You know what I mean? And she just don't believe Amber must get this attention. Was Anthony looking for a wife? I think not necessarily Anthony felt that Amber was a nice girl, but over time him falling
I'm
in love
still
with
trying to
her.
figure that out. I'm still trying to figure out how her and Anthony got to. I still think he was rebounding from Roe. I mean, I'm like, how did they get together?
He was, and
Yeah.
I think as time went by, he felt she was a younger version. You know what I mean, of all of that, and so it's like he's starting to fall in love with this younger woman who is representing the things that he's looking for.
Oh, got you. So okay,
So that's where I grasp of that. Mm-hmm.
Right. I can see that. So they just had, because their marriage, to me, their marriage was not built on love. The love was not the foundation of this marriage.
Mm-hmm.
It was a sham to begin with.
So hold on. So Gigi in the comments is rightfully saying what she's saying. Yes, Amber was more looking for marriage from Wayne. That is true.
Mm-hmm.
She wanted Wayne to marry her, but Wayne would marry her because as you've seen, Wayne is a player. So right, and so again, relatable story, because the girl who is the nicest in the community is always going after the player when there's a Carlton somewhere that she could marry,
right,
and she could have a wonderful life. But she says, you know what? I don't want Carlton. I'm gonna deal with Wayne because I feel like Wayne is the catch. Even though Wayne has 10 different girls, and you notice that 10 different girls are wrong. So I need the thing that everybody wants.
Well, I mean, that's kind of the same thing I said, Gigi. It's that's kind of a rebound situation. Like even if you're saying like, okay, this is what you miss, it's still ulterior it's a motive there. It's not based on love. That's my point. It's not based on love. Love was not the foundation. They both had ulterior motives as to why they wanted to live this dream, and like you said, and you know how we always say that Amber wants to live upon this image of being married. She wants that, She wants
Perfect
the
marriage.
lifestyle. She wants the lifestyle, but
Mm-hmm.
not necessarily the marriage or what it takes to be married, because it's just the image of she wants to um I just think she wants to have that married life, but not really just the image of it all. Because like, why would you still want to continue to endure what you endure right now? What point are you proving? That's why I said you're using your relationship with God as a crutch. And like I said, I'm not saying that is anything wrong with, because
Mm-hmm.
I take my relationship with God very seriously, but not to the point where I'm going to subject myself to a toxic relationship, or because you took vows. I mean, if someone broke those vows,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what point are you proving at this point? Like, you can't continue to say, "Oh, God wants this for me." No, you want this for yourself. You got to. There's a difference between conforming to what God wants and to
Mm-hmm.
conforming to what
You
you
want.
want, and to what
Well,
your desires are.
you're right, but that's tradition for you again, because again, we are given these traditions through Christianity and through and I'm gonna say Christianity because that's what the main denomination of most black people are. So we're given these particular things through Christianity. We're given these codes and things to live by, and so what we tend to do is get subjected to them. You want to see
Yes,
it. You want to see it a lot. You'll see a lot of it in Jamaican culture. It's now breaking from the culture now, but there are certain things in Jamaican culture. Oh, you can't do this on a Sunday. Oh, you can't do this on a Monday,
yes,
and you're
mhm,
you're
mhm.
bounded by this religious thing. So what Amber is doing, is a part of that.
Yeah,
There's
it
a lot
is.
of religion element that's in there where religion sometimes bound us to our own demise.
Yes, and that's it. That's it right there. But I want to respond to Gigi's question. Tell me, why did you have a problem with my Amber? Because she didn't play anybody. She just tried to steal somebody. No, she didn't. She just tried to steal nobody's husband. Amber was a lot of women. Amber was a lot of
A
women
woman
in
in
this
the world
world
trying to
trying to
find love.
find love in one place. I'm gonna tell you the reason why. Because Amber was not this wholesome, Christian that she was. She started off conniving. She came into
Good
this
point.
world very conniving. She was well put together. Yes, she was a businesswoman. Yes, she
Mhm.
came in as Mike's high school sweetheart. And do you remember she was messing around with Mike when Mike was Roro? I mean, do we forget that part?
People
Did he?
don't remember those
You
parts.
don't
That's what
remember?
I'm saying to you. So I'm saying to you,
Y'all love
Amber
yourself
has
some
transformed.
Amber. Y'all love yourself
Mhm.
some Amber, but also, Amber also condoned Ernestine cheating on her own cousin. Remember, she knew, and I don't
Exactly.
even think Jay even knows either to this day that she was aware that Ernestine was cheating. Because remember,
Hmm.
they was in the gym or something like that,
Yeah.
and she was like, "Oh, if you're gonna step out on my cousin, you need to cheat up." Oh, but
Exactly.
this is your girl, though. This your girl, you
Exactly.
know.
Exactly. So
So
she was
yes,
a
she was
player.
a snake, and and don't forget that, Amber just happened to just been messing around with Rose Sloppy Seconds as well, because with Mike, then it was Wayne, and Wayne. Oh, remind you, Amber got with Wayne to get back at Mike because she felt some kind of way about Mike when she stood up there and made this speech, because she felt like she was giving the tail end, because
That's
Amber
right.
was the one that kind of put
Hmm.
Mike on into the business aspect, to kind of get him more into the entrepreneurial space.
Right.
And
Her
so
character has evolved.
right, and so she felt some kind of way because when he did his speech one
Hmm.
time and he acknowledged who was his girlfriend at the time, she felt some kind of way, and that's when she started kissing on Wayne and started messing around with Wayne to get back at Mike. So yes, so your girl was conniving, yes, and
She was the other way. That's why I said to you, she was doing a lot of those things. Where do you think Shayla got some of the things from? Amber was actually
yes,
had Shayla under her wing. She was teaching Shayla a lot of things. She just didn't realize she was teaching those things, but she was.
mhm,
Now,
yeah,
as she went into the marriage, and whatever happened with the Wayne thing happened over time, Amber started to get better and better as she came by. She started to become a
yes,
better person at certain things.
yes,
You know what I mean?
hmm,
So that's what the Amber character is, and maybe that's why people love the Amber and love to hate the Amber character, because of her
yes,
transformation through whatever
yes,
it is. The character has been transforming. So whoever writing the character is transforming the character from one place to the next. If you notice today, when she spoke to Anthony, what did she do? She make sure she double back and say, Anthony, me know you.
yes,
That's
hmm,
a different Amber. The first time Amber would have been an Amber would say, okay, all right, if him said that, so it's just nonchalant. It
yeah,
would
I
be
tell
very,
you.
very nonchalant.
And also, I wanted to go. I'm gonna piggyback what you said about Amber's transformation. Yes, she has evolved. She has evolved, but
Mhm.
she regressed. She regressed as well. But I'm gonna get back to that because it's disappointing how she's regressing. Because before, like she evolved from the conniving person that she was,
Mhm.
but just because you evolve, and we all have to learn from this, just because you work on a better version of yourself doesn't mean you ain't going to experience any karma from what you did before.
Correct.
You know, it doesn't
Correct.
mean you're not going to suffer. You're
Mhm.
not exempt from consequences just because you
Mhm.
decided to change. You know, you just have to know how to endure your consequences. You have to sit in that. You got to lay in that bed that you made. You know,
That's correct.
but
That's
continue
correct.
to grow in the process, though. Continue to grow in the process, right? But
That's
she
correct.
has to lay. She has to lay in that bed that she made. And so, yes, she's evolved, and at the same time, you know, but also became more gullible. She was like, you know, she wasn't like seeing the forest before the trees, and so, you know, it was really wrenching. It was cringeworthy at times to see her
Mhm.
in the way she was moving and how she was so naive or just didn't. She wanted to remain oblivious. But then when she decided at first to commit to divorcing Anthony, I was so proud of that because when they had that quack of a doctor that they were seeing, um, you know, I can't stand. I couldn't stand. I'm glad they got rid of her. You know, she at some point was saying, you know what, Anthony, I appreciate your apology, no matter how sincere it was or not. You know, I think that she felt like the counseling sessions was an anchor towards them building a friendship, being amicable after the divorce, and she was really
Mhm.
standing in it, and she was really like more into her evolution, and I was so proud of that. But now she's regressing back when she left that door open, like Anderson Park said. It's
Mhm.
like, what are you doing? Like, why? I just don't like the regression. You
Of that
know?
part.
Yeah.
Okay, it looks like what they're trying to do is they're trying to do the when I see that, and it's a good question. What I think they're trying to do is they're trying to do it's one of those girls or men who you will have a woman or you have a man
Mm-hmm.
and you just can't let it go.
Yes.
I think that's what Emma play with the Amber character. She just can't let it go. Like you like, dude, just let go the girl, man. You know she
Yes.
perfect. You
Because I
know that
know.
she
Hmm.
hard. You see what she do last week. And you still have her around. You just
Yes.
can't let her go to realize that she is not great for you.
Yeah, and the
Right?
thing
It's
is,
like,
right, and that's and a lot of people when we have this, and you see Amber beautiful,
mm-hmm.
stylish to the T, successful, and she even said to Shayla in her face that she could another Anthony when she could. She seemed like she knows she could do better, but for some reason she still don't believe that she deserves any better. You know?
She's trying to play the role of there's a couple things going through the character right now, and they'll give me more character things on it. One is that they're trying to say that she is staying because she doesn't want Shayla to get
Yeah.
the man.
Yes. Yes.
So in other words, a competition thing. So she don't want the man to win.
Yes.
Number two, she wants to stay married because she wants to be this perfect wife. She keep mentioning that, so there's evidence of that. The whole idea of this, hey, I need to be the perfect wife. Number three, there is a level of, and this happens to men a lot. I don't know. I'm seeing it now with Amber character from a woman's standpoint. We tend to hold on very long to marriages
Yes.
because we have been cultured to hold on to, even when
Yes.
it fail.
Yes.
When
For
O'Neil
better or for worse.
first, O'Neil
Yeah.
Fierce first marriage, trust me, him hold on pan it and him have it a hang on,
Yes.
even when it's done. Till
Yeah.
eventually, Mr. Say, okay,
Mhm.
O'Neil, it's over. But it take a while for you to release all of that. So realize that that's what's going on with the Amber character. She can't let go off it to realize that it is done. And you won't see it that easy when you're just coming into it. But I realize that that's kind of what they're playing with it. Over time, she's seeing these things.
Yeah,
So
and
that's
I
another
think,
piece I see.
yeah, it is, and I think it's also a superficial factor as well. Even though she has her money as well, but Anthony, the $250,000
The
wedding that
lifestyle,
that was that was
there you
crap.
go.
I don't know where that money went, but anyway,
The
but
lifestyle,
yeah, lifestyle also,
yeah.
but also because she also. I don't know, like, I mean, I know her father seemed like a stand-up guy. I want to give more backstory to her relationship with her father because she always emphasized the fact that Anthony was such a good man, and I didn't know how to receive it at the time. I didn't know I didn't feel deserving of a good man. Anthony wasn't a good man. Like, what makes him so good? What makes him such a good man? Other than his looks and his money,
It's
like
just her way. It's just her way of thinking it, and some
his
people ask
charm. His
questions.
charm. I think is his
It's just
charm. I think.
again. it is just Amber's understanding of marriage in her mind that that's exactly what marriage is. She has these thought processes, and that's why she has spoken to us, the audience, and said we need to stop holding on our feelings, and we need to leave her to have her own feelings. So she has these thought processes. It's like we have a thing about failing in marriages, and I think that's what Amber is processing. She don't want such a feel. She don't want to say that the marriage has actually failed, but it failed, and sometimes you have to say it failed and call a spade a spade. We don't like those disappointments.
Absolutely.
You understand? So we don't want the disappointments of failing in our marriage. And a lot of what I see in the Amber character is a lot of that. And women sometimes play that, and a lot of men play that. When they don't want to see the failure, trust me, I have friends who, good God, look for when they're supposed to leave the woman alone and them nah leave her. I've had probably one girl that was supposed to leave. My friend them tell me a long time. Only leave that still there, you know what I mean? You still try, hope you can fix her, and you know the fix it mentality, and you must know to fix it. Where you think you can fix them. You believe that something tell you that you are the one true changer.
You change them, yes.
If there's ever a changer in the world, it is you. Something tell you say, you have been ordained. We don't know by who. So that's what I think it is.
Okay, but no, that's a good perspective. But let me I'm gonna have a little fun with you, Oneil.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Now, so because we kind of in a nutshell kind of gave the audience an understanding of the storyline, right? Because that's like the main one. There's so many of them. There's so many in the cultural universe. So if you're able to tune in, do so, because they're very entertaining and frustrating at the same time. So
everything.
All right. So now I just want you to. I'm gonna give out a couple of, since we just focus on this storyline here. I'm going to give you some scenarios, and I want you to give advice to, based on the scenario I give you. I want you to give advice, but hold on, this is just a kick here. I want you to give them advice in your patois voice.
In my patois voice, okay. Yes, hopefully I understand.
But you can translate. I mean, you can translate.
I will.
All right. So, Shayla telling Anthony, in order for you to see your son, there's a price to pay. You need to buy me a house. What advice are you going to give Anthony?
No buy no girl no Ross house. No buy no girl no house. You're not supposed to buy no girl no house, because listen to me, man. You already have paid money to her, so there's no reason for buy her no house. And that just simply means there is no reason for Anthony to be buying her house. He's already been paying for everything else. Why would I be buying her a house? If he were to go to child support, right, he'd be paying about $3,000.
Yeah.
In comparison to what he's paying right now. He's already paying for the apartment living. He pay the bills them there. He pays for the child's food, schooling, whatever it is. He paying at least $10,000 per month, which is about $120 per year. Why would I be? Listen to me. 120 means you're in the what now? 10th percentile?
Yeah.
For doing nothing but having a kid. What makes you more special than every other woman that have a kid?
Now, Anthony allowing Shayla to abuse him physically, mentally, emotionally. Anthony calling him weak, kicking him in the right butt cheek, throwing things at him. Her mother mushing him in the face, and him being kicked out of her apartment that he's paying for, and just him walking out so easily. So what do you say to him? Anthony not having a backbone and just allowing these things to happen to him.
Idiot. Can't have jelly back, my youth. Listen to me. Let me tell you something, my lad. You can't have no girl come and go and them want to come put them foot on your dog. No foot, no for them on you. Especially them yellow foot, they will pay that.
Well, that sounds sexy as hell. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
And that simply means, listen to me, man. You don't allow any woman to put them hands or them foot on you at all. Just like how you're not supposed to put your hands or your foot on a woman. Don't allow them to do the same, because I don't believe there should be any abuse at all. So, I mean, that's what that is. The double standard. And how dare her? You know what I mean? How dare you take an emotion from her? As far as I'm concerned, he needs to stay at him. Go to court. Go on a court, because at this point that is, man, long time, but you can't have a girl put them foot on you. You paying them foot, man. They must have mad. Listen to me.
I love it. I love this. Go ahead.
She would have never see back her foot if she put it, if she kicked me. She would have never see back her foot. So if that's just what's going on right now.
All
Don't
right,
you
now,
dare.
yes, yes. So now, Amber went through. She went through what she went through. Best
Mhm.
friend, sleeping with her husband cheating on her. Or like most of their marriage, having a child as a result of that marriage.
Mhm.
Um, hey Lolo, hi, thank you for coming. Um, and so enduring all that pain, and Anthony still being disrespectful, still being cocky and arrogant about it, not really having. I don't, neither one of them being fully remorseful, but
Mhm.
yet she still stayed. She's still enduring this. Go. What advice do
Lego
you
the
give?
boy. Lego the boy. Lego the boy. Them know exactly me I say already. Lego the boy. That forget Lego long time. A long time Anthony forget left right now. She have to left that. She have to find an next man. She need to get an next man right now. She need to link Joe Grind. You understand?
I love it. I love it.
The people call him Tyrone. The people here call him Tyrone. We call him Joe Grind because he's on the
Joe
grind.
Grind. Yeah.
Yeah, him always a
Yeah.
grind. So him have to grind it in. So you know it work already. So we don't play no dolly house. No boy can't play dolly house with no girl. So
Yes.
that's what's going on. So that's what I want. In other words, what I want that to mean is that Amber should leave. Amber needs to be leaving and be playing no work about it. In fact, I think she could get one of the other men who would treat her much better than all of this. She could have gone long ago because if
Yes.
it was
Yes.
my sister or my daughter, whatever it is, I couldn't see her taking all of that. I understand
No.
that she was doing these various things before, but come on,
Right.
baby,
Exactly. That's why.
baby.
Right. Let it go. I mean, let's let the marriage go. Like, just put in the
That's right.
coffin, nail in the coffin. I mean,
Yeah,
it
man.
doesn't make any sense to me.
Get rid of that one.
Yeah, because it's really. I mean, I do understand sometimes. I think Wayne is kind of using his experiences, but now it's
Mm-hmm.
getting to the point where, yes, we understand it's a skits, we understand it's entertainment purposes,
Mm-hmm.
but we have the right to discuss these things as if we were in it. Like, okay, we have the right to be passionate about these things because
Yeah, man.
we're talking. Maybe it's like watching the soap operas, watching our TV shows. We
That's
talk
exactly
about
what
it,
it is.
we
That's
discuss it.
exactly what it is.
You know,
It is a TV show. It is a soap
yeah,
opera that we're watching, and I love it. That's what I say. I'll always give him support as long as he brings morally sound content
yes,
on there. Because hey, I mean, it's fine. Me support it.
yes.
People say, no, I mean, I stop. I'm gonna watch. What else am I gonna watch? There's
Yeah,
the other things
exactly.
are a bunch of
They
white
still,
content.
Wayne and the actors, they're still going to eat.
Yeah,
They're still going
let me
to.
watch. The deal
Yes,
is
they
this:
let you eat.
I could go and watch Netflix, but let me give Wayne the time and the dollars on YouTube so that the actors and
Yes,
actresses can get paid. But no, I'm upset to them too, but trust me,
yes.
I
One
would
hand,
prefer to
yeah.
give them
Hmm.
the support and watch them and play the videos them for them and push things out, whatever it is. I just do this because I love black culture, man. I want to see black people make
Yes.
some money.
Hmm.
So it is what it is. They
You
make
got to
money every
support
single
the
time they
arts.
come on.
Yes,
That's me.
you
I'm gonna
got to
support my own.
support because that's how you get more of it. You get more of it
Correct.
from us by us.
That's correct.
That's the support matters.
That's
So
correct.
yes, and you getting fed as well too. By doing commentary on
Yep.
this. So
Yeah.
keep it going, O'Neil. But
Yeah.
thank you so much for doing that. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
It's a
So,
love that. Yeah, man. And Amber played joke with the man long time, and she lick the boy in him head long time. She slap him. Bias.
yeah, yes, please, yes. She needs one of those. Yes, in the name of Jesus. Oh yeah. Oh,
Just
also,
slap. Hmm?
another one. I got another one, O'Neil. Go back to the patois thing again because I have another one. Amber inserting God like a lot of people do that nowadays. They want to use God to
Mm-hmm.
justify her decisions. What do you say about that in
Oh
patois?
God. Left God out on the stuff, please. Them tend to
Please,
put God in them business. Oh, God tell her to do this and God not tell Amber to do nothing. God and Amber, no matter mix up God. They always I put God in a. Sometimes I have to call God myself and ask him. I have to go phone him and ask him, God, when you tell Amber this? Because we are wonder. We have to wonder. Sometimes I have to wonder when did we then when all of this happened? When did God tell her these things? I don't believe God has been
yeah.
talking, telling
Well,
Amber
O'Neil. I don't think you and I worship the same God. I don't know. I mean, I think it's different for us.
I don't know what I don't know what she's talking. I don't know when. I don't know when God told her all of those things. I don't think God make her do all of that. And I know some people say I thought it was a Job story, but it's not the Job story.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, because, and I'd say it's not the Job story because I think the Job story is something different than what we're seeing here on screen. We're seeing a lot of level of force. Some of what Amber doing to
Yes,
me is a lot of force, and
yes,
is a lot
yes,
of willfulness. So in other words, it removes the biblical words of the biblical phrase of
yes,
thy will be done and not my will be done. So
yeah,
if Anthony keeps going over and baby mother house, thy will be done. That's the same need for me.
yeah.
We are forced to come back over yourself. It's just that's the idea. It's thy will be done. We can't stop you. You're going to go do what you're doing. We cannot. Thy will be
Exactly.
done.
And and don't you think? And I would think that if you could just talk to Amber for a moment, since you know that you God so well, you have the scripture down, you're such a praying woman. But don't you think that God is giving you these red flags for a reason? Duh.
Exactly.
I mean,
Exactly.
you dove headfirst into reconciling with this man and did not
Mhm.
even allow him the opportunity to take any ownership, any
See,
accountability. You
right.
haven't given him a chance to earn his way back to you.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
you're going to get into all this stuff, but you don't understand the red, the maroon, burgundy flags that are given to you. You don't think God put those things in front of you?
A lot of different things. It's like that. Okay, Charmaine says, O'Neil, God talk to all of us if we ask him questions and listen diligently. And that's the thing. I think
Yes,
God has been,
diligently.
I think God has been speaking to Amber for a while now. When I watch a
Yes,
series, that's what I see.
he's been showing.
I see he's giving her evidence
Yeah.
of what's going on. You can't. The one thing Amber can't say, she hasn't gotten evidence. That's the one thing she can't say. The one thing she can say is that she has gotten
He
evidence
does.
of
Yes.
who the man is. No, let's see. Let's see if she she take whatever it is. So far, she looking good. We love the fact that she was today. She looked good today, by the way. She looked very good.
Yeah. Yeah.
She
Yes.
go on good. She hot.
Yes. I love
Like
that
pepper
top.
seed.
That top was singing.
Yeah, her face look hot
Yes.
today. She have on the
Yes.
weave still. I mean, not
Yes.
too like, white woman ear weave. What I mean? Not that it's not against white people, but it's a weave,
No,
the
no,
long.
it's his weave.
But
It's weave. Yeah.
but me like black hair. Me love black woman hair.
Mm-hmm.
Regular hair. Other women I like show it up, but I like to see it. And black men love
Yes.
it. More than women think. So, but nothing wrong with that. Nonetheless, she looked good. Her
Yeah.
face was very nice. She was very
Yeah.
relaxed and calm. And so, we love seeing her today. She looked good today.
Yeah, she did. She did. And
That one, she
so,
looked
yeah,
hot.
so
Pepper seed. Look
all
like
right
pepper seed.
now.
Hold
Yeah,
on,
Mrs. Peart, Mrs. Peart.
she knows
You
some
go
of
there,
she
you
knows some
all
of
right.
that talk. She right there so same way so she watch me. She
Oh,
now she
yeah. All right now.
know me
All
a
right.
babe, man.
So, all right. So there you have it in a nutshell. So that's basically in a nutshell, one of the storylines that Oneiltv reviews among others. So please make sure you subscribe to his channel, support his channel. I'm going to have his information in the description box as well. So please make sure you support his channel. He gives a perspective that is professional as well as hilarious, as you can see. He adds his music flair to it as well. Don't be surprised he pull out his guitar and give his
Every now and again.
commentary as well. So that's some of the stuff we've been looking at on the Country Wayne skits and these Country Wayne streets. So shout out to everyone in the Country Wayne world. Shout out to all the content creators that are doing content in these Country Wayne space, and also shout out to the content creators who are in this space as well. Thank you for being here, supporting us as well. And so, O'Neil, I want to know, before we go any further, what do you got going on now? Like, what we got? Anything to look forward to in your life, in your journey?
I think I want to do something for the channel. I want to do a musical performance for the channel because people ask me to sing,
nice.
and I'm trying to work on this for y'all guys. Trust me, I'll try work on it right now. So I'm trying to get a videographer, number one, and I'm trying to get a band to see if him can play some music for us.
Yes.
No, I'm just trying to look at the venue and just trying to get people in there. It costs a bit to produce, but it's fine. Hey, I'm gonna produce it for the channel. I feel like y'all deserve it.
Yes, it's gonna be live, right? Live music.
I want to make it live.
Yes,
So
yes.
In other words, we have to kind of watch how I put it on the platform, but I want to be able to do that on the platform. Just give me a little bit and I'll tell you the date that I'll be doing it, and then I'll just kind of make it and put up live, and we'll just play it live right on there, and we'll just enjoy it. We'll just enjoy it together. I want to do that for the channel outside of what we're doing now, and I'll try to produce like some other little content I want to kind of do for the channel itself. So don't worry about that,
Yeah, I love it. I love that. And that's why you need to get your social media, get the Instagram, get the Facebook, you need that too.
You don't put it in. All right, I'm gonna get Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah, you do. You really do. Because that is like the marketing That you can't go. There's no way around it when you're marketing yourself in this way. There's no way around it about social
I
media.
can. I guess I can. You know, you see, now you said that now, we do it now. But I think I come on these because I just love them. I'm gonna be very honest with you. Like I love the people that watch.
Of
You know,
course, and that's
like
right.
all of the folks that watch it. But I know what you mean. I just want to make sure I say this. I love the people that watch me and the people that interact with me because we learn so much from you and you learn so much from me and we get to talk and I get to meet so many of the people through the screen, which is just
Right.
kind of the greatest thing for me ever.
Right. That's what brings more traction if you have the social media and and all the typing in the chat that you do that annoys me. By the way, I just want to let you know that I'm sorry.
But I do it. So I do that because
you do it so often, like every 5 seconds. Do you think? And I'm like, oh my God, we can hear you, O'Neil. You can just ask the question and let the people in the chat respond. You don't gotta be typing like I'm like, oh wow.
I'll tell you why I do that. Sometimes if I'll say so many things, I realize that sometimes I talk so fast that maybe I'm not very understandable.
Just fine. You're very clear. Type, do you let me go matter of fact, let me type in the chat.
Do you like well it's I don't know. I will try to be better. I'll try to be better.
Yeah,
I do that because
so much. You don't have to do that so often. It's like, oh my God, oh Lord. And you have like 1,300 poll questions to ask. I'm like, I understand you want to be, don't get me wrong, I don't mind the engagement. I mean, I love it, but it's like, you don't got to do all of that.
You don't have to poll you guys so many times. He's polling us too many times. It's a social worker in me. It's a social worker in me.
And I'm a case manager as well, so I get it too.
You see, it's a social worker in me. I try to make sure I'm like very clear as much as possible. I know what you mean. I type it in there because people tend to. Sometimes it'll make you see them. I said it right now. So sometimes what it'll do to it'll make sure like if somebody just came in and they didn't see the question and the question pops in there. And so they'll see the question based on that, or I'll try to like center the conversation in one place. So that's why I do it. But hey, y'all will tell me.
Yeah, no, that's just my. Excuse me. This is to the O'Neil fans. It's just my opinion, okay? I see that you like it. If you like it, I love it. Okay, don't throw tomatoes at me. It's just my opinion. I think I'm not saying to stop doing it. I'm just saying don't do it so much.
I know
that's what I'm saying.
That's understandable.
All right. I just want to make sure I clear the air because Lord, I don't want to be
smoke.
I don't want no smoke. Thank you. I don't want no smoke.
No, I type up just because of that, because it's kind of cool, I mean, like I get a chance to. And the pollings help to I poll a lot because I feel like polling is data versus like me, and I'll tell you what I mean. It's to make sure that it's not my opinion that's dominating the conversation.
Right. I understand.
So when I poll you, it's to say, all right, you know what? I think this. But then I'll be like, but you sure everybody think that? You know what? All right, fine. What do you guys think about this? That's literally what it is. Right. So now you are now able to say no, yes, and I'll be able to look through it and be like, well, maybe everybody don't think so. If sometimes I'll respond, oh, I guess y'all don't think that particular thing. I would know that if I didn't poll it. So that's kind of what happens some of the times,
But that's why they put it in the comments. They comment. They give their opinion in the comments, in the chat.
That's why I do that. Because I think people need data more than anything else. And I'm very data driven. I love data, because if you don't know the data, then you kind of won't, realize that something's going on. It's like that marriage data then. I didn't know this data that, like our community get divorced more than anyone else. I didn't know that. I never know, say we have the most marriages, meaning Black community. And then you're like, well, why is that? Why are we getting divorced more than everybody else? What makes us any different than anybody else? Aren't we people? Why are we divorcing and everybody else are still married? That's what I mean. So it's over time I've realized that those things matter. Now you kind of need to start seeing the numbers. All right, well, hey, let's pull up a fact. What's the fact? All right, guys, let me poll this. If I poll this, you'll realize that this is the case. If it's like sometimes when you even talk about like from a male perspective, if I poll something, you'll see the males post certain things and the woman will say, oh, I see. It's maybe a man thing. It's not a woman thing. Or sometimes I'll think something and it's a woman thing. I'm like, oh, I see. Women respond this way. Oh, all right, never mind. You know what? Y'all win. I get it. It's more of, the women will respond that way. So that's all I do it for.
I totally get it. No, I understand your intentions, and and that's something that that makes you, great at what you do, and on YouTube as well as outside of that on your professional career. So I get it. I get it, O'Neil. all right. Like I said, O'Neil and O'Neil fans, please. Like I said, don't bash me.
No, she's just asking why, and it's a good
Yeah.
question. I wanted to answer the question today because I saw your type before, and I'm like, well, but even if we stop them now, we interact, and I'm like, no, we make them interact. In fact, I love the mini lives. Let me explain it. Only loves the mini lives because the
Angela,
mini live.
all right, Angela, don't come at me, Angela. All right,
No,
you and I, we here, Angela. All right, now we here.
That's fine. It's all right. Don't come. Listen, I love the mini lives because the mini lives in the night gets a chance for people.
Yeah, I like those too.
To vocalize like whatever they respond to. Like
yes, I like
the thing with the skits is that when we do the lives, and that's why I make sure I'm trying to communicate more, and I'll type just like you typing, so that way there's no difference between me and you. So I'm not over talking your typing, right? And I'm responding to the words that you're saying. What I think it does is it allows people to get them thoughts out versus keeping them in. That's why I love the mini lives. The mini lives, I love them.
Me too. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, I like that concept. That's
and I don't know how I get it. It's one day I was like, you know what? Ah, boy, these videos are getting too long. You know what? Let me just make it a mini live. I'll make it very long, but we just go mini live.
Yeah, that's good.
You know what I mean? So
good stuff. Good stuff. No, that's good concept. So yeah, keep it going. Yeah. So now I want to ask you a couple of more questions before we wrap up. And it's the time we know is almost 2 hours, and I really appreciate your time here. I really enjoyed it. I mean, it don't seem like it's that long.
That's
it don't seem like that long, but hey, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So now, I like to ask this question. I enjoy the answers like this so far. I love it. So I want to ask you, if you were able to have 5 people at the seat of your table, dead or alive, who would they be and why?
Wow, it's a good question. 5 people seated at your table, dead or alive, who would it be?
And why?
I'm going to think and I'll tell you exactly what it is.
Sure.
Bob Marley needs to be seated at my table.
Oh, why am I not surprised?
All right. Bob Marley is Bob Marley had certain business things about him, number one. And he also had a certain level of, even though he smokes a lot of weed like Iman, but Bob Marley's weed smoking didn't interfere from his sensibility as the business.
Yes.
He was very business driven and very business oriented. And there's something about how Bob Marley did business that the other guys never understood. If you know Bob Marley and the Wailers, you know that it was Bob Marley, Bunny Wailer, and Peter Tosh. And there's a reason why Bob Marley has gone further than these other 3 men, and why his kids have been able to conquer the space and maintain a status quo years after he has died. I want to know what was that, because Bob Marley had a lot of flocking with him, and there's something about Bob Marley that I would have wanted to learn. So that's one. 5 people sit at my table. I like Marcus Aurelius. Marcus Aurelius is a philosopher and I think a king from about 15th, 14th century. I don't know. Dude is from a long time. Old and ancient. He's from one of those Greek guys, but he was very good at prophecies. He was good at prophecies, not just prophecy, but I think he was more of like there's a certain flow about Marcus Aurelius, where Marcus Aurelius was very content with what he had. Even though he was a king, he still saw himself as being able to learn. I think he was big on saying, to be a leader, you have to also be a follower. Because you have to learn how to follow and how to learn to lead.
Absolutely.
And so I like Marcus Aurelius for that particular region, if Jesus could have sit down at the table, would have talked to him to ask some questions. Why? Because Jesus is Jesus. Hey, I mean, you hear about Jesus all the time, and you know the significance of Jesus. So to sit down and talk to Jesus would be good. It would be good to sit down with Jesus and talk to Jesus. You know what I mean? And get some questions from him. How did he endure a lot of the suffering that him endure? What was his faith like? Because in faith is what's most significant. Jesus have a level of faith, right? That if I could have like even half of the faith that Jesus have, is a different world we're looking at. Because you want that amount of faith. If you even notice when they walked on water, when Peter walked on water, and Jesus walked on water, Peter said, "Let me do that." And he said, "Well, if you have some faith," and him have some amount of faith, walk for a little bit, and then when him look down and him start losing faith, you know that's what's happened to him. So I would have wanted the faith of Jesus and the whole idea of Jesus being able to, Jesus had a level of balance between, yes, I am holier, but I'm also very real and realistic. That's why him turn over the table of the scribes and
Yes.
Pharisees in the
Yes.
middle of the church. You understand? So in other words, he had that ruggedness to him just the same. He wasn't just neat all the time and no, I'm going to just turn the other cheek and never mind what I, no. He had the other edge
Yes.
to him. You could have tell he had
Yes.
the edge to him, especially with the people that followed him. Because after all, think about it. Zacchaeus was a tax collector, wasn't he? One of them was a tax collector. One of them, Zacchaeus, did something different.
Zacchaeus.
The other men did different things. These men did different things. So I would have wanted to sit down with Jesus. So that was that 3. Marcus
Yes.
Aurelius, Jesus. There we go. I think I want to sit down with, if I have another person to sit down with, who would it be? Well, I got a chance to sit down with my mentor. One of my mentors is Christopher Blackwell. I'd love to sit with him again and talk to him. Christopher Blackwell is the man who is responsible for Bob Marley. It's always a pleasure to talk to Christopher Blackwell, and Christopher Blackwell is very insightful. He can leave you one-line gems, like one of the gems Christopher Blackwell left me with. Maybe this went into some of my things of business as well. One of the things, I went to him to try to get about $50,000 to do a project, right? Chris have it. Chris worth over $300 million. Come on, can easily fuck or whatever it is. But he said, no, I'm not going to just give it like that. You know what I mean? And his thing was, I needed to bring him a proper product. And so he said, never forget the number 1 rule of business: supply and demand. That's all he said. I said, supply and demand. What do you mean? What do you mean? And then pretty much disappeared. Hey, I've got to go. So it's like an Englishman. So he speaks like this. And he says, never forget the number 1 thing of business, which is supply and demand. But I've got to go. I've got another meeting. So, just enjoy the hotel and do what you're doing. But outside of that, it was a great performance, and I'll see you after. That sat with me for like about a year. What do you mean? What does he mean? What do you mean by supply and demand? And it took me some time to get through that, but that was very profound. And so I realized that in life, there's supply and demand. It happened in a love life. It happened in a regular business. It happened in everything. Oversupply the market, then you bring down the demand. You know what I mean? Push down the demand of the business. It increases supply. Push up the demand, and then it reduces the supply. So just little things like that, just the way how that moves in tandem from a business space. And I think that has kind of it has helped. So even when I deal with clients, don't oversell the client, because when you oversell the client tired of seeing it.
True.
Makes sense?
True.
So you oversell. So now you have no demand. The client doesn't demand you anymore. Yeah. Right. So that's also another thing that I've seen. So that's a good one to sit with. How much is that? 4?
Yeah. So like one more.
See. I need one more. If I could sit with 4 people. I like the art. It's my favorite art. So maybe this is exactly why I need to do the music thing very, very soon too. D'Angelo. It's my favorite musician. So D'Angelo is one of my. Matthew is a tax collector. Thank you very much, Nanya. Thank you very much for giving me that. Matthew is a tax collector. D'Angelo is just very talented. Like, the dude is just super talented. And so if I could sit down and just ask him questions about his talent, like, why didn't he do certain things? Like, just question his musical genius. I'd love to be able to do that.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. Thank you for that. I really enjoyed those answers. So, and this is one that I love to ask as well. And this is actually taken from the late James Lipton from Inside the Actor Studio. So, Oneiltv, when you enter into the pearly gates, what would you want God to say?
I'm glad you were there. That's what comes to my mind. I'm glad that you were there. That's it.
I love it.
Because I did my piece. I did what I was supposed to do. And that's about it. And that's just, it's what it is.
I love that.
Somebody said no woman. Somebody said no woman. If you know I meet no woman, don't say that, guys. Come on. I just gave 5 off the cuff. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. Oh, wow. Give me 5 women. 5. Let me give 5 women.
It could change tomorrow. So this is his
This is,
5 people now. This is
oh, good
at this moment.
Lord.
At this moment, yeah. Let's give
Good
him those 5 people now.
Lord.
At this moment, yeah. That's all right. That's all right. You got those 5. Those are good ones. Those are good choices. Yeah. So, but I just want to thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate this. I really loved every moment of this. I hope that the people in the audience as well as in the replay will just gather so much from all
Thank
of
you.
this, the gems, all of the journey that you've been a part of, the talent
Thank you.
that you share. I really do appreciate that. So,
I appreciate it.
um,
Thank
again,
you.
so shout out to O'Neill. I really, you know, let's say O'Neill TV, ladies and gentlemen, O'Neill TV.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Faith and
Okay.
Substance, thank you very much for doing all of this. I appreciate you guys. Y'all check out Faith and Substance's channel. I'll make sure I post this on the channel so y'all can see it. I might react
Please.
a bit, so make sure that y'all can have more, spreading out into the fan base. I'm glad that you're doing this, and this is very, very good.
Oh, thank you.
Talking to the content creators. I hope you have you spoken to Deontay Reviews?
Yes, you ain't see that interview. Oh, O'Neill.
We'll probably see, but there's so much videos. Come on, that's why I'm going to ask.
Please don't tell me you didn't see that.
No, I've seen it. Don't worry. It's me have what I mean, like just.
Don't try to clean it up, O'Neill. Don't try to clean it up.
No, you have to take your time with me. Me see some videos. Me not see all of it, but me see some parts of it. But me just ask. Don't worry when I ask these questions. It might just be that we might have. That's all. But brain might just go off a little bit. That's fine. Because Deontay we all put up so much content that sometimes we all forget. So we did cover this content. We all forget what we did cover. But okay. But I hope that you continue to interview them. Who else are you going to interview after this?
I'm going to be interviewing with be on the lookout for my interview with Juice Radio TV. That's the next interview I'm going to be doing on the 28th, I believe. But I'll be putting it up. I think it's
nice.
The
Who is Juice Radio? Who are they? Like
is they are like she's a media personality. She does mostly faith-based content. But she also does celebrity hot topics as well, and she interviews with different people. So yeah, that's the next person I'm going to be interviewing with. So please make sure you look out for that. I'm going to be
no
posting
problem.
it.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
I like to see that, and I like to see like different pieces that come. I love what you're doing. Like this is just
thank you.
You know what I mean? I'm glad I get to talk to like another I'm more black content creators and us doing our thing. I know people have said, well, I have to make it racial. Well, hey, sometimes when I get enough chances, so screw that. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, Angela, you and me both. Maybe when next time you see him live, you let him know. I emailed him a few weeks ago, and he never responded. So you let him know that you're waiting on that interview. All right, Angela.
Who's that? Jinx.
Hi, Jinx. Big facts. He's another content creator for Country Wayne Skits.
Oh, he's another one.
Yeah, he's another one. Yeah.
Maybe I need to reach out to him. Let's see what's going on. If you have something for him, just send it to me so I can reach out to him. I don't mind reaching out to him and let him know that Face the Substance needs to.
Yes, I'll reach out. Yes, help me out, O'Neill. Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah, I'll push it. Whoever it is that you're trying to interview, and I'll go in on them comments and write something.
Let him know. Yeah, let him know.
Hey, I
reached out to him. Yep. Because he already knew, because we talked about it before. So yes, and I even invited him to this interview as well. So I don't know if he got that email or not. But like I said, he might catch the replay and he may, he may hear this right now and respond. So yes, you never know.
Yes, if you're out there, Jinx, hi Jinx, big facts. We need to be interviewed.
Yeah, we need to make that happen.
Yeah, you need to come in right now. Link up, Jinx. You need to link up right now. Yeah,
so we need that to happen.
Movements, Jinx. Yeah, we need to make some movements to the thing right now. You understand? You have to reverse something, certain.
Yes, yeah. We try to have a little how you pronounce that word? Thank you.
Conglomerate? No worries, that's fine. I got it. No, I got you. No.
Thank you for looking out. But I appreciate, like I said again, O'Neill, I really thank you so much, and I look forward to you coming back up again. Thank you for everyone that came through. Thank you all the audience that came through. Please share, comment, and subscribe.
Every one of them. Thank you all. Yeah. Angela, Akis, the Goddess London, Charmaine, all of y'all. You don't know the names. I'm Sandra. Every one of them. Thank you very much, Angela Paul. All of y'all. Y'all are always really and truly supporting the black content creators.
They are.
Love this. Just know say O'Neill really and truly love it from the bottom of his heart.
Yes.
Love when you support him. I love when you support Deontay Reviews. I love when you support every black content creator. Not care. Once you support them, I love it. You understand?
Yeah,
Everybody
so
else have their thing. I love our thing.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Won't you encourage these people on your Patois voice to support my channel, please? Let them know in Patois.
Yeah, man. So what you're gonna do right now is you're gonna just go in on the subscribe button and you're gonna subscribe to Faith is the Substance platform right now. That's what you're gonna do right now. Don't bother skip the thing yet. Just come in on this right now and just, you know what I mean, leave out that, but just come in at this. That's how I'm going right now. Yes,
I love it. I'm sorry. I just love it. I love it.
only for substance. Faith have enough substance. You understand? Not the other substance that some people are talking about, but the faith substance. Because only for substance. I mean, yeah, hey, for those who are out there being promiscuous, practice abstinence. But yeah, there's still substance. So link faith. You understand? Faith, it's a date. Make it a date with faith and don't be late. Not date as in going on date. But date, you know what I mean? Make sure you're watching and link in with the platform. Because right now, I just saw the thing set up.
I love it. I love it. What O'Neil said. Do what he said. Yeah. Do what O'Neil said.
Ever the guy with the dreads there, do that. Just that's what y'all need to do right now. Just go ahead and subscribe. For
Listen
those
to
who are
Angelina.
here,
Yes, Angelina. Let them know, Angelina.
for all
Let
of
them know.
those who are not linking in on the platform, just go ahead and just hit the like button. I mean, I know y'all like pets to go and buying pets to go and all of that, but you know, of all of faith is all of this, you know, and
Thank you, Angelina. Shout out to Angelina in the building. Thank you so much, Angelina. We still don't like you over here, but thank you so much for support. We appreciate it. Oh my goodness, this is too much. I cannot. All right, but thank you so much, O'Neil. I'm gonna see you on the other side. All right.
I'll see you on the next side. No problem. Thank you very much.
All right, bye-bye. Shout out to Oneiltv, y'all. Shout out to Oneiltv. I really appreciate his time and being here. And again, I appreciate you guys viewing this live with me and sharing this live and just engaging and just giving your feedback in in the chat. I really appreciate the feedback. I appreciate the engagement, the interactions that we've been receiving throughout this interview. I mean, we've been here over 2 hours and some of y'all stuck it out to the end. So thank you so much for being here and support both myself as well as Oneiltv. Like I said, again, all of his information is going to be in the description box below. So and make sure you check him out when he does his commentary on the Country Wayne skits and give his perspectives on that and give you the time of your life while he's giving his feedback or giving his commentary on the Country Wayne skits in these Country Wayne streets. Thank you so much again. Thank you so much again for being here. Thank you so much for your support. It doesn't go unnoticed, nor is it taken for granted. So thank you so much, everyone. And again, look out for my interview with Juice Radio. I'm going to make sure that I have that information for you. Look out on my community wall as well as my social media platforms for that interview as well, because I want y'all in the building there too. All right. I want y'all in the building. Every time I come on, you should be in the building anyway. But these interviews are so great. The time that they take and the amount of information that I receive from them, all of the gems that I'm giving, all of the backstories, all of the vulnerability, all of the spirituality, all of the mental impact that it has on me. So don't get it twisted. I get all of that. So, and I want that to be received by you guys as well. So in the meantime,